content at 160% of the average. The State Department of Water Resources issued snow measurements on Tuesday. The low January precipitation is disappointing news for California, which needs a wet winter to reduce drought conditions. Much of the state is still in severe drought, though overall conditions have improved since last winter. Keith Peters reporting.
With more than 30 new COVID cases being detected daily ahead of the Beijing Olympics, organizers insisting they're not worried. They expect the numbers to drop before too much longer. Wall Street, NASDAQ futures up 185 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Happy Groundhog Day, absolutely.
And I have not... My only official word is Sean, because I literally haven't been watching Groundhog stuff.
Well, I wasn't either, but, on a random Google, I was just like...
Yeah.
I just, had to search, did Bill see his shadow?
Look, Sonny Phil.
And I am here to say that prognosticator of prognosticators did verily and sure, I don't know the rest of the thing. He saw his shadow.
Which means...
Six more
weeks of winter.
Yep.
Which, on the heels of a winter storm warning...
6 more weeks of winters.
Seems pretty spot on it.
You know what? Yeah, it feels right as we head into Snowpocalypse 2022.
Yeah, yes. BMTP, everybody.
It's so funny watching people freak out. They're like, I'm gonna go for a fresh run of straw, and they're like, I put some up by the well house and restock my firewood. I mean, I admire it. I really do. I think that folks are watching a lot of 1883, and I think it's really paying off.
Preparation is important.
Sure. I stocked up on Preparation H before this whole thing started. I made sure I was ready.
I'm so prepared.
Come what may.
I got E, F, and G, and I, J, and K on top of H.
Oh, yeah? Dang. Look at you.
I like a selection of preparations.
Not too shabby. You done got that BMTP HJ, didn't you?
Next weekend, we're going to try Preparation L and see what it does. But
just be careful when she gets to Preparation X. It gets a little weird.
I tried Preparation G, and like 6 days later, I woke up in Acapulco. I don't know what happened.
And man, my mouth was so small.
Right?
You still had them hemorrhoids. But...
I didn't talk. No talking. What stayed in Preparation G, what happens stays in Preparation G. But anyway, yes, Groundhog saw a shadow, 6 weeks of winter. We got a winter storm warning coming. We had an awesome Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Canada forum last night. If you did not get a chance to partake or participate, you can go right now. Well, maybe wait till 10. Tune into the show.
Yeah, listen to this first.
Yeah, and then 10 o'clock, you can go to ksvptv.com. If as of right at the moment, it's the channel all the way on the left of the selection of channels.
The last
available.
channel on the left. If you see Gene Dow, you went too far.
That's right. Hang a Yui at the Gene Dow.
You're going to want to flip it. No, I can't say that.
Careful.
Easy now.
But but we have it there available for you, and we'll talk about it today. It was a tip of the cap to all the candidates, and obviously Leadership Roswell Alumni Association did an amazing job of planning and orchestrating last night. And congratulations to all the candidates. I think every single candidate did an excellent job last night of doing demonstrating why they're running and what that they believe in. And you got a lot of varying opinions last night. And when you go to vote, which you can do right now, well, not right this second, but here in a little bit, you'll be with early voting, you can
vote informed.
Yeah. So, and of course, we'll be getting more of the candidates on this show between now and the March election. Here. So, but it was great. I think everybody did an amazing job. Everything worked for So the live event goes, everything went pretty smooth.
Yeah,
so.
Props to the candidates, props to the folks for showing up, and honestly, I mean, a serious tip of the cap to you guys, to you and to Tanner. I mean,
Tanner and those guys, I just show up.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you guys put in the time, put in the work,
Yeah. Hey, Roy, our guest is here. If you want to let them in.
But yes, I mean, you guys. In this forum and the last one in Artesia, I mean, you guys knocked it out of the park. It really enough of a spotlight isn't put on the action, and he just ran out of the room before I could actually give him kudos. But enough of a spotlight is not put on the actual video production side of things. The machinations and the hands that go into producing the video content for KSVPTV.com. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they've been.
And Roy, you can play this back later when you're editing the show. And see the kudos that I gave you.
Don't let him hear it. Don't get his head too big.
Just so you know.
We don't need that big head walking around here. We need to keep that right in check. Just to say.
Well, I'm just as I walked in this morning, he had a song on his a song in his heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I walked in and literally he just said he hit me with the "I got you, babe," and I was like, oh, that's right, it's today.
Yeah, we had a weird mind meld this morning, starting the day, and it's Hugh Hewitt's fault.
I don't think I've ever seen a more shocked look on Mike's face in my entire life. He walked in, and I mentioned that Roy hit me with the line from "I Got You, Babe," and he looked at me for a long time in silence. I'm like, what, do I got a booger? Oh, I can't say that. Do I got a nose thing?
Yeah, Johnny Fever.
Yeah, sorry. I want to get kicked off the air.
You have nose debris.
Yeah, do I have nose debris? But he was like, no, I was walking down the alley and I was trying to put the song together, like trying to think of it. I'm like, so we mind melded?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. But it turns out we all got the same earworm from Hugh Hewitt when his bumper music was Sonny and Cher, Groundhog Day, I Got You, Babe.
This is what happens when you listen to your content.
Yeah.
He who lives by the content dies.
All I
by the
needed was
content.
someone going, "It's cold this morning.
It's cold out there today. It's cold out there every day."
Yeah, I just needed some of that going on. But yeah. Oh, and then the other thing, which I haven't addressed, and I will, Washington Commanders. It's official.
Yep. Admittedly, it's way better than the Admirals.
All right, here's my take right this moment. I don't love the Commander's name. I don't hate the Commander's name. The name is merely meh.
It's
to me.
just and that's. I think that any name they came up with, unless it was like Thundercats or something like that, was gonna be just.
I think they would have got a bigger rub a bigger shine from the fan base if they went something that paid homage to the Hogs.
I like what you went with the Hogs yesterday.
They would have been very,
and they've got the color scheme for it.
Yeah, they would have appeased the fan base. They could have marketed the feces out of that, and
that term doesn't fly. It doesn't take off.
And they chose not to, or it didn't go that direction.
Yeah, they leaned safe.
Yeah,
but I mean, Hogs would have worked great. I think that Red Tails, like you were saying, I think that would.
Well,
have been
that would have been. I know why that didn't happen because the Red Tail people are very protective of the Red Tail name and imagery.
Sure,
and I'm sure the last thing they want is a Dan Snyder involved with that mess.
Fine, put Jamie Foxx on the side of the helmet. Done. Solved.
And he can put like the various spectacles and things he sells on the logo.
Exactly.
So it's like Jamie Foxx glasses. Available at the 20-yard line.
He does those Did he do those head earbuds? No, that's what's his face? Oh crap! I just forgot the guy's name. The guy that makes those earbuds.
Better yet, I just call us the Shaquille O'Neals, and then you can do that with because that man hawks more things than anyone on earth.
Papa John's. I mean,
anywhere from foot powder to
the general car insurance.
To insurance.
Yeah.
To defunct electronics.
It is odd that the list of products. He's like Gold Bond, medicated foot powder, and Papa John's pizza. I don't know if those two things are going to go together.
Well, he owns Papa John's.
Yeah.
I think
she owns a share of it.
Yeah. Well, after the debacle of Papa John,
they really should change that to Papa Shack.
They had to bring Shaq in to fix some imaging.
Big Shaq's pizza
things
place.
Like that. So Peyton Manning was not enough to fix that as a particular problem. But okay, so the commander's name, it's meh to me. I'm very disappointed in the lack of trying to keep it a secret by the team. They were at first. I mean, their secrecy was so bad that people thought they were just throwing red herrings out there.
Right.
Like it was that blatantly bad, and then to say, "Ta-da! It's the commanders." You're like, man.
Yeah.
You're just like our DC intelligence. It's no different than down the street. Y'all are as Swiss cheese in your security as anybody else. But I will say this: the uniforms, the three jerseys, and the are sharp.
They're not bad.
I like them.
It's not bad.
I dig the look.
Admittedly, it's not that different from what they had before.
Actually, very different. Because they've added colors that were never a part of the scheme. Black was never a part of the Washington Redskin or football team. That they did white, but not like that. Silver was in there on that their road jerseys. The white, they've got silver on there. That's new. I heard some people say it kind of looks like they ripped off the Cardinals uniforms, the road jerseys, the white. I don't know the number scheme. I like it. It's a wrestling, and they have an alternate.
And it's more of a maroon. Cardinals is cardinal red.
Yeah, it's technically burgundy. It's the color. It's not maroon.
Excuse me.
It's a point of contention in Washington. People, it's like going into Burger King and asking for a Big Mac. Kind of don't want to do that.
Sorry, I didn't pull out my Epicantic color chart.
We had a guy named Jim Zorn walk in and say, "Can't wait to coach the maroon and gold," and everyone looked, or maroon and yellow.
Actually, it's taupe.
And
what?
It's a simple Google search, man. Just if you're going to be the head coach of the team, do a Google search on the colors before you start running out there and start announcing them. But that's another story for back in the day. Anyway,
fair enough. Looks maroon to me, but all right.
Burgundy.
I get it. I'm just saying it looks
Scotch, burgundy.
Looks maroon to me. In that case, we had a burgundy 1991 Honda Accord growing up.
Why don't you go home to
your wife on an island?
But they have a third uniform, the black.
Right.
And I do dig it. It's an all black uniform. They have it comes with a black helmet, and they put the number on the side. The W. They've got a W that looks a little like, sort of like Washington. Was it University of Washington? Where their W? It's kind of a little like that.
There's not a lot of cool. There's not a lot of ways you can make a W look cool, though.
Okay, don't use a W. I mean, there's many other letters in there to use, or we got DC. That's a whole.
That
thing.
would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
I would have gone DC Commanders myself.
See, honestly, if you lean in and actually get like an endorsement deal, you could do something with that.
I think DC Commanders, and
every week they come out with Batman capes and.
Maybe get a marketing deal with DC Comics.
Right.
Oh, wait, that's the bad one, too. No one wants that one. Yeah, well, that fits. That's fit. Let's reboot the Washington football team 27 times over like they've done with Batman.
There you go.
Sean, you're a fan of wrestling.
Kill off Dan Snyder's parents. Yes, I am.
You know they can make a W look cool.
Yeah, well.
We got to need another one and add an E to it.
And you know what's funny is as I was saying that, I thought about the WWE logo, but it's still kind of...
No, like the scratchy one, the one that was like the Attitude Era.
Yeah, back in the day, maybe, but that had an F attached, and there were two W's. You got to add to it.
It was weird seeing panda bears doing suplexes.
It's very odd. It's very odd.
Back in the WWF days.
And the fact that they pinned Vince, I mean, dang. Who saw that coming?
Also, I would have picked the name Night Wolves.
Who knew that the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, was so litigious?
He was talking to Ron Burgundy for that name. That's like the Jack Hawk 3000, the Night Wolves.
The Night Wolves.
I like fake football names like that. Like, I think they should use those more often.
If you went with Night Wolves,
Thundercats.
If you went with Night Wolves, my promotional imaging video would be very Batman-esque, but instead of dark, ominous music, it's yacht rock playing while he's doing Batman stuff, but with yacht rock music playing.
Takes me away.
That's what the Night Wolf sounds to me. All right, let me give you the rundown and because I got a lot and we got to get going. I'm coming hot out the gate today. Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us here in just a few after I get verklempt and unverklempt, and then she'll give us an update on what's going on at the chamber. In the 8 o'clock hour schedule, I have the folks from the Roswell Refuge join us, so we'll get an update from them. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had yesterday with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum, giving folks an update on what's happening out there as they're opening up, looking for volunteers. They got a lot of stuff going on there. So we'll play that interview for you about 9:15 or so. Plus, we'll have all of your features and include the news of the local and national variety. It's quite a haircut. And then... sorry, I get distracted easy. And then the other features and all that for you as well. It is 20 minutes after 7. Weather kind of in the news this morning, so let's get you up to date on that.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and will drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I didn't scroll up high enough. 33 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the north at 7 miles per hour. We do have a winter storm warning that is in effect through tomorrow at noon. For today, we're looking at a 70% chance of precipitation. Rain and snow likely, mainly after 2 today, is what they're telling us. Cloudy, high of only 40 today, but that's actually pretty warm compared to the next couple days. So, drink it in. Winds will be out of the east, 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we get any snow during the day today, it's going to be less than an inch. All right. Now, tonight. Whoa. Speaking of 80s, never mind. We are looking at snow. Likely. Not possibly. But likely is what they're saying. Saying an overnight low of 14. That stinks. Winds will be out of the north at 15. The winds will be higher than the temperature. North winds at 15 miles per hour. The overnight low is 14. Chance of precip is at 90%. They're saying we could get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches tonight. When you wake up in the morning, hoping to hear your school cancellations and all that stuff, you're looking at a 30% chance of snow before 11, gradually clearing, and sun will come out a little later on in the day. I have only 25, though, so you drink that sun in because that's the only heat you get in outdoors anyway. Winds, wind chill value as low as 0. Oof. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15. They say we could get another half an inch tomorrow in the morning. Then Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of Joe Theismann, 7. Wind chill factor as low as -1 with north winds at 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, a balmy 31 for a high, which will feel pleasant after 7. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Then for your weekend, sunny 42 for Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 48. And then Monday, we'll be back into the low 50s, 52 on Monday. So it's about to get cold. Buckle up, bundle up, and get ready. And, of course, if there's delays, closures, anything in the morning, I'll be here. I'll be here in the morning telling everyone to stay home while I'm out driving around. So I'll make sure I'm here to get everybody to do that. That's why I got a Jeep. I've been, I think I've got to put it in 4-wheel drive like 4 times since I've owned it. So I just look for excuses now. It's like, foot of snow, bring it on. I'm just going to drive right through it or die trying. And then other people, you shouldn't be doing those dumb things. Look at Mike. See, that's why you don't do those dumb things. All right, 7:24. Let's take a quick 3-minute break, and then Andrew will join us from the Roswell Chamber, and we'll give you an update on all happening there. Don't go away.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell. The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
You may have heard of SmartHub. SmartHub is Central Valley Electric's online tool for members to manage their electric account. With SmartHub, not only can you securely pay your bill online, you can view your detailed electric use 24 hours a day. You can report an outage while staying up to date with the latest co-op news, compare past and current electric use. Sign up for paperless billing or reoccurring payment so that your payment is never late. The best thing is you can access SmartHub from your computer, tablet, or smartphone, so it goes everywhere you go. Visit cvecoop.org to get started or give us a call.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The verb form of the word run has been calculated to have almost 650 different meanings. So think about that the next time you run up your tab at the bar and then run into a friend while you run away from the bartender. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 7 o'clock because I pontificated about a lot of things. I covered a lot of ground in 27 minutes. I pat myself on the back. None of it important, mind you. Well,
it's kind of important.
Most of it wasn't, but there were some nuggets of importance there. But anyway, Andrew Moore joining us this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Good morning.
Good morning.
So first off, before we talk chamber business, I know you were at the forum last night.
Yes.
Overall thoughts?
Oh, my goodness. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen it yet, definitely get online and go watch the forum. You don't necessarily have to watch the whole thing. Watch your ward candidates, and then you can fast forward and watch the mayoral forum portion. But very informative. I really got to know a lot about candidates that I didn't know. I know most of the people that were up there. It was Ward 4. I really kind of learned a lot more about because I didn't know a lot about the newer candidates.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that one's kind of got a real hodgepodge of veteran and brand new faces coming to the scene here. So, that was interesting. Unfortunately, one of the candidates, we only had 2 candidates unavailable for the last night. One of the mayoral candidates and then Ward 4 was a last minute. One of the candidates there was a last minute, both due to health reasons. So, but everyone else was there. I would, as I said at the beginning, you definitely heard varying opinions last night on how things should be run. And for folks that are looking to vote for their candidates, I think you've got a good idea by watching last night's forum on where a lot of people stand. And like I said, we're going to continue, keep studying the resources, tune into the us here on the radio, read the Daily Records articles and interviews and things that they do for this. And, various, I know, like the Federated Republican Women are doing candidate forums. Various other entities around our community are offering these opportunities. Please take advantage of them. Go do your research. If you... maybe you watched last night, you're like, man, that just gave me 5 other questions I have for some candidates here. Utilize those opportunities. Visit their social media presence. Ask them questions. This is your vetting process for selecting the right people to lead our community, and do your due diligence so the people we elect can do theirs.
Absolutely. And, of course, at the Chamber, we do our weekly email blast. We have reached out to every candidate in every race, to include Angela Moore, who is the only unopposed candidate this time. And we are going to post all of their information. We're going to post all of their information as they give it to us.
Yes.
So we are not endorsing any one particular candidate at the Chamber of Commerce, but we are happy to push all information on all candidates.
Sure.
So we have a section dedicated in the email just for candidates.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of, I just happened to catch this on my radar because it collided with my radar. But speaking of that, I know we're going to have one of the gubernatorial candidates come through next week.
Yes.
And I think he's going to be doing a meet and greet at the Chamber.
Yes, Greg Zanetti.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Tuesday, 5:30 at the Chamber. We're doing a meet and greet. That's another one of the new things that I'm excited to announce that we are going to be doing at the Chamber of Commerce is, once again, well, if we do for one, we will do for all candidates, because we do not endorse any one candidate.
Sure.
But Greg Zanetti was the first one to reach out to us. So we said absolutely. And then, of course, we went on. We have reached out to all of the other gubernatorial candidates.
And the same
we're in the process of setting up meet and greets. Mark Ronchetti got back to us. We're just ironing out dates.
Okay. And I'm sure the governor has the same invite if she'd like to come down and do the same thing.
I would love to have Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham come. I really would.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that she says or does, but I think it's important for people to get to meet these candidates so you can go and vote accordingly.
Sure.
I agree with you that don't vote for somebody because you like their sign, or, oh, I've heard their name 5 more times than the other guy, or she's pretty, or he's cute. No, figure out what they really are about and see if it aligns with what you believe, and vote that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So the only reason I knew that one because he's going to be on my show that morning. Because he's going to be in town, so he's going to come on for a visit. So you'll get to hear what he has to say in the 7 o'clock hour next Tuesday, and then you can come to the meet and greet later today and ask him questions or make him expound on things we talked about.
And he loves questions.
Yeah.
I've met Greg a handful of times, and I promise you, I am that one person that I take notes and I ask the hard questions.
Yeah, Andrea can be a thorn in people's side when she needs to be. I've seen that happen. We're not necessarily a thorn, but yeah, calling people the carpet.
I am an above average informed voter. And so I ask those questions. And of course, a lot of times I do get dared by my friends. I bet you won't. And I'm like, oh, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, you want to get Andrew doing it, just dare.
And so I'll ask the hard questions and, answer them accordingly.
Sure.
And then you do learn a lot about people.
Right. Absolutely. But definitely utilize all these opportunities and whether you early vote here today, tomorrow, whenever, or wait till in March here for actual election day. But do it with information that you're solid, that you're backing people that line up with what you believe in.
Absolutely.
As far as events and stuff coming up, what's something we want to put on the radar?
So,
here?
of course, we've got, like I said, Tuesday, a week from yesterday,
Yes.
5:30, we've got gubernatorial candidate Greg Zanetti coming in. We will be having a ribbon cutting for Reliable Tint on the 12th.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday at 11 o'clock. And then at the exact same time is also the ribbon cutting groundbreaking. Is it groundbreaking? Maybe it's just the ribbon cutting for Ascent Aviation out at the air base.
Okay.
So we've got both of those events on the 12th at the exact same time, 11 o'clock. So pick which one you want to go to. Both are going to be great events. Reliable Tint is their grand opening.
Okay.
So it's not just the ribbon cutting.
Yeah,
You'll be able to tour the facility and get to know
that
the
man's
owner.
dedicated to tinting and stuff. We were
Yes.
he popped in the one day I was there, and I think we had about a 15-minute conversation about tinting.
Yeah.
And he knows his tinting.
He's really good.
I wonder if we can go over there. Maybe you can combine them. And then he can go over and tint the helicopters and everything, all the equipment over.
Well, I'll have to give him a call when we get back. I'm sure he'll get a laugh out of that.
I don't know what the rules are in tinting aircraft, but, maybe they're different than the cars.
I would think it would be kind of the same concept, but maybe a little more difficult on the rounded edges.
Well, I mean, there's laws because they can't be so dark so they can't see in. I don't know if those same rules apply to airplanes because it's not
I don't know.
officers knocking up on the door saying license and registration.
Yeah, I
please."
need to see what you're doing.
So I don't know. Maybe the rules are a little different. They go uber dark and looks like a 70s lounge in there or something. I don't know. And go.
So we've got that going on. And then I can officially announce.
All right.
We, as the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, are having a 4th of July celebration event.
In August. Just kidding.
Yeah, in August. With fireworks.
Sweet.
It's going to be a big deal. We have Kofi Anderson coming in to do our concert.
All right.
And then we'll have a little bit of time for everybody to kind of readjust and pivot.
Okay.
As much as you need to pivot to look up to the skies. And we will have about a 25-minute fireworks display.
Nice. Very cool. So this will be this July 4th.
July 4th.
Is it going to be out at
Cielo Grande
Park? So come on out. We're going to have a great concert for everyone to come out. Kofi Anderson, of course, he's a staple in the country music world now. And he went from up-and-comer to kind of, today's country.
Absolutely.
Is the today's artists. And he's going to be, and again, this is, didn't we kind of luck out on, we got him before he blew up rate kind of thing?
Yes, he just signed a really lucrative deal. And so we called him. He loves Roswell because he has been to Roswell before when he was doing just the fair circuit.
Yeah.
He came out and was one of our headliners for the balloon rally.
Yeah.
So when we contacted him, he goes, "Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love Roswell. You guys are wonderful. I'm there. I'm absolutely there."
Yeah.
And so we signed the contract and we negotiated because the first amount, I was like, I'm out on that
from
deal.
Our blood. Little rich.
I was like, I'm out on that deal.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, here's what we'll do. And he gave us the rate significantly lower with the caveat that we have to cook him a really good steak dinner.
All right.
So
we need to figure that one out.
Well, we've definitely had people coming out of the woodwork going, well, I can do a steak dinner.
If we can't rustle up a steak dinner in Roswell, New Mexico for this man, we're in trouble.
That's right.
We're in deep kimchi here.
That's right. So we are looking for sponsors for the concert and the fireworks because we do want to offer this event free to the public. It'll be obviously coming out of UFO Festival, and 4th of July is that Monday. UFO Festival ends that Sunday.
Okay.
So this is something maybe the tourists want to stay in town an extra day, but it's definitely for our community. We are going to start sending out sponsorship letters as well as working with other departments around the community to do a donation drive. because the more money we raise, then the more free, the closer to free the concert can be.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to put the concert on at a loss.
Sure.
So I just want to break even. This is not a money maker or a profit thing for the chamber. It is for the community, and I just need to cover my costs.
Sure.
So anybody that wants to help out, whether you want to be a big sponsor or just have $5 to donate to the cause, we are happy to accept any and all contributions to the cause.
Absolutely. And of course, you have questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to the Chamber of Commerce via social media or face-to-face or on the telly. Either way, we'll be able to help and answer any questions. And let's start getting the rally going, making plans, mark your calendars. July 4th, we're going to have a fireworks show back in Roswell. Obviously, for quite a few years here, it's been a tough sting for our community on the losses and things we had the fire department. But I think we're a few years past that now, and it's time to celebrate America again the way America does. And
absolutely. And I have talked to both the city and the fire department and made sure that we are going to do
the blessings and got
things appropriately because, I obviously live here, so I understand.
Yeah.
And the fire department said that they are all in to support us. Obviously, they will not be doing the fireworks display, but they are there to help out in case of an emergency.
Sure, they do their day-to-day job for us here and going to make sure everything's safe and above board. So,
exactly. So we have signed a contract with a company that is licensed, bonded, insured, that will come in, set up.
This is what they do for a living.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is their job. They take full responsibility for all that stuff. So we're excited. And of course, the bigger the donations on the fireworks side, the bigger the fireworks display. So I have no doubt that this year is just the beginning of many. And I am one of those locals that usually leaves town over 4th of July and have for many, many years.
You can't now.
And I am not. In fact, I have told my family, you're going to have to come back for our 4th of July extravaganza.
Well, it's not like they got to pull them kicking and screaming. You got a great concert.
That's
you got fireworks. It's like, hey, come have cake and ice cream with me. Come on.
That's
what
right.
I mean? How many people are like, no?
It's going to be really cool. We're hoping to reach out to like all of the food truck vendors that are out there.
Yeah,
so
love
that
to get
way
that.
There will be refreshments
and I'm
for the
noticing
community.
We're getting a bigger and bigger variety of food trucks around town.
We are.
Different cuisines and things, from Cajun to obviously Mexican. But I mean, we're getting, Italian. You got a little hodgepodge of great eclectic mix of food trucks starting to show up. So I hope they all get to come out. We have a food truck row out there where you can get, Italian or Mexican or Cajun or
my vision.
Burgers and barbecue, whatever it is. We got a little bit of everything.
That's
out there.
my vision, is to have as many of the food truck vendors that want to come out.
Yeah.
Hopefully a beer garden and some jump houses.
Sure.
And I will put the jump houses in between the beer garden and the food trucks, so you can sit there and have your adult refreshment while the kids burn off their excess energy as well.
Yeah, make it a big family picnic.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So obviously more details to come.
Yes.
But mark it on your calendars, July 4th, 4th of July celebration. Kofi and fireworks.
Oh, we're so excited.
July 4th. So definitely put that on your calendars. And I know we're all excited about that. But
that is
getting that ready to come back.
Huge, because we've really been working hard to bring that back.
Yep.
And then we are also bringing back Rise with Roswell Agricultural Breakfast.
Yes. So plan your dark 30s here.
March 24th. At 6 o'clock in the morning. That is our early event that we do. And we have a comedian, that was highly recommended to us, that he is a dairy farmer and does comedy, and he is hilarious.
All right.
The dairy farmer comedian. I just spoke with him yesterday. He is available, and we're excited to get that up and going after 2 years of not being able to do the ag breakfast as well.
Is he utterly funny?
He is utterly funny. When I was given different avenues to pursue, that I just started looking, and when we were given this one, I went and looked on YouTube and all over the internet, and he is so funny. And of course it dovetails with agriculture and what we're trying to do.
Very good.
And so, our other major one fell through, but hopefully maybe next year if we do better.
Yeah. Well, and
there's always goals.
I'm not going to lie. He's getting busy again.
Yeah.
Like new seasons of his show.
Yes.
Are coming back on TV again after quite a few year hiatus. Yep. So imagine that may have thrown a wrinkle in some of those.
That was
too.
some of it.
Yeah.
Cost is definitely something that we've got to.
Well, we got to make more money first.
Absolutely,
So.
and it's so we went to the staff and I went to that leadership seminar that the Economic Development Corporation put on yesterday, and we were kind of giggling because as he was talking about different things and having goals, we looked over each other. I'm like, see, I've got this goal. And he goes, don't get defeated if you have this big goal out there, but you can't reach it yesterday.
Right.
And everybody in the office laughed at me because that's me. I'm like, here's this awesome goal and we need to do it yesterday. And the staff's always like, that's a great goal and we can get there, but take a breath because it might take a couple days to get to that point.
First, you got to build a time machine. No.
And so those are the things that we've got going on. Okay. We've got the grand openings on the 12th. We've got 4th of July.
Yeah.
March 24th, Ag Breakfast. And of course, you're going to start seeing us push it all out. Our new web page, our website is coming up. We were hoping it was going to go live yesterday.
Okay.
It's looking like today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So we will definitely be pushing out all of our new information on the new website.
And give out the web address for folks. So
RoswellNM.org.
There you go. And you go there and
exactly
and check back. Of course, don't forget if you follow, if you utilize some other social media, your Facebook, Instagram, you also find the Roswell Chamber has a presence there, and I encourage you to like, follow, and stay up to date through those platforms as well.
And let us know in the community if there's things going on through Facebook, especially. I get a lot of information. Hey, this organization's got this going on, and we will post it up on our Facebook page. We'll put it in the weekly email.
Yeah.
We'll put it on our website. And once we get our website up and going, we're going to start doing orientations with our members because we will have that member page back where they can go in the back door. They'll have a unique username and password to be able to update their information.
Gotcha.
They'll be able to pay their bill. They'll be able to put if they're hiring, if they've got specials, things like that.
It's like their own little portal into the the system.
And it'll be a lot more user friendly than it has been in the past because if I have to take 12 steps to do it, I'm not doing it.
Gotcha.
So if I can do it, anybody can. I promise, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
You're the litmus test. If you can navigate through it, then we should be good to go.
So we'll start, at least in the short term, we're looking at maybe once or twice a month having orientations for the members to be able to come in, and we can sit in the boardroom. We'll pull up the website. Everybody can bring in their devices so they can be real time on their own side doing what we're showing. And then, of course, we're always willing to do one-on-ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So please utilize the chamber. And by the way, if you're not a chamber member and looking for an opportunity there, please reach out.
Please.
We are, there's various levels of membership. And you don't have to even be in Roswell as a business. If you serve the Roswell community in any way, shape, or form, or Chaves County, really, any way, shape, or form, then it's probably behoove you to be a part of the chamber.
It really will. We do offer just about every service to the community, whether you're a member or not. But the biggest deal to be a member, the biggest advantage is that you get a lot of these things either at no cost or low cost, deeply discounted, whereas we just have to charge the community because there's a cost for doing everything.
Sure.
You know, paying my staff means something, so I've got to charge. The magazine, we are getting ready to send the next issue to the publisher.
This would be quarter 2 for this year?
The first quarter for this year.
Okay.
Technically, for the calendar year.
January, never mind. My brain.
So it will drop the end of February, beginning of March. to all the households in Chaves County.
Okay.
We've got some great articles and, of course, some reoccurring features.
What's some of the? I don't want to give all the highlights, but a couple nuggets that'll give me.
Well, we are going to have something about Nimi and the football team that
great.
was out
the championship football
Oh my
team,
gosh, isn't that fantastic?
It
Yay!
is. It's awesome.
Of course, that's close to my heart because that's my son's
You've got
school.
family that are
That's right.
are in there as well.
So we've got something about cannabis in there. And over the next couple of issues, we're going to be pushing quite a bit of information.
Gotcha. About the legalization and what's going on,
exactly.
what to expect, and what's going.
Who's here in town? Who the local players are? If that's something that you're into, I believe it's my place to tell you who are the local.
You are a promoter of business.
That's
and
right.
That is a legal business now in the state of New Mexico.
So that's one that we're excited about because even though I've been kind of a proponent since I was in high school, I've written many papers on what I thought the legalization would look like since I was in high school and yelled at by my college prep writing teacher. It's really cool to see what has actually happened.
Sure.
And to see what the real laws are. Dispel myths and rumors and let the community know what's really going on there.
Absolutely.
So those are two of the kind of major ones we've got going on. But of course, we'll have our kids page in there. We'll have Liz's Local Loves, where Liz goes out into the community and she finds all of these obscure little places, whether it be an eatery or just a cute little shop.
A hole in the wall or something? Yeah. Okay.
It amazes me that she comes in all the time and she's like, oh my gosh, I found this place. And I'm like, where is that place? Like, I drive all over town and I've never seen. She's like, okay, well, you got to go down this place, go through this alley, and it's right there. And then we all go. I know one of the food trucks that we featured last year has come back and said thank you because it has been a huge boost.
Put them on the map.
Yes.
Good. That's the idea. Is to put people connected to other people and let them do life.
We've heard from many of our advertisers that they're seeing that it is paying off to be in the magazine. In fact, we had one advertiser that we contacted and he goes, can you not run my ad for 1 quarter because I am
we gave him too much business?
That's what he said. And we just started laughing. He goes, I'm just one guy in the office. He goes, I can't. He goes, I need to breathe for a second. We're like, not a problem. And he goes, but we're definitely on the schedule to go forward after that.
You should invite him to some of our classes and things to help business management so he can, implement some business practices to get some more free time.
So that's so we've got lots of good stuff. We're going to be, of course, always looking for advertisers, always looking for content in the magazine because we are starting to fill up our folder of content and trying to lay out for this next year. Okay, here's all this wonderful information. To make sure it doesn't get too dated.
Right.
We're Madeline Jones, our editor, is awesome. She's been really good at, hey, this is all the stuff we've got. This is how we're going to stick it in and promote all of this really cool stuff. I mean, in fact, yesterday I got something in my email box and I was like, I know we're getting ready to send it to the publisher in 3 days, but can we put this in there? And she kind of looked at me. She goes, yes. Yes, we can put that in there. And she goes, as a matter of fact, I was trying to figure out we are up to 54 pages and you've got to do the magazine in numbers of 4.
I gotcha.
So if you add an odd number, you've got to make sure you get that multiple.
Gotcha.
So she was like, well, I was wondering how I was going to fill up these other pages, but thank you. You just gave me another 2 pages of information.
The planets aligned, so call it a win. But yeah, good deal. But yeah, look for that coming soon here in a March time frame.
Yep. And if anybody wants to contact us about anything, what we're doing great, what we should be doing. If you want to yell at me for some reason because we've screwed something up, because I'm sure we've missed the mark somewhere. We can't make everybody happy all the time, but we're going to try. Give us a call, 575-623-5695.
Very good. And come on by.
Please.
And visit, and if you need a meeting space, if you need any of this kind of stuff, the Chamber of Commerce can help you out.
We have
reach out.
Tons of things that we can provide to you. for your business, for the community. Come see us. If you see my red car in the parking lot, I'm there. Kyle's got a big black truck. Liz has a red car, and Madeline's got her brown SUV.
All right.
So if you see any one of those 4 cars, we're there because sometimes the door is locked. So ring the doorbell.
There's a bell. It says ring it. You
That's
just
right.
Yeah.
Ring it. We'll hear you. We will come. I promise.
Yep. I'll take care of you. And if that don't work, just be on the door and knock.
Yeah, knock on. We'll be there. Sometimes we're in the back doing stuff, so it might take us a hot second.
It gets kind of deep. You get lost in the hallways back there. Well, thank you, Andrea. As always, appreciate the visit.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time, and stay warm. It's about to get nasty.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right, 7:54. Let's do quick news and quick break before more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County has been awarded $750,000 in community development block grant funding. The money coming from an overall $10.5 million kitty being doled out around the state. The funding will be used for water, wastewater, streets and drainage, and public facilities projects. An additional $1.6 million will be used for economic development and planning projects. And due to the anticipated freezing temperatures, the former Joe Stanley Smith Elementary School at 505 Alta Vista is being opened starting tonight as a temporary shelter. This is through a partnership between the city and Carlsbad Municipal Schools. The shelter will remain open until the need subsides. The Community of Hope Center at 1314 South Canal Street is also offering shelter for those who need it. You can call the Community of Hope Center at 575-200-1377. First responders have been instructed to assist individuals who require help with getting to a shelter. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and will drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It was a good night on the road for the Goddard Rockets. Last night, it was game number 2 in the district schedule. Goddard, remember, started off against Portales Friday night. Last night, it was hitting the roads to Wildcat territory in the first game of the girls-boys doubleheader. Goddard knocked off Lovington 69-41. Goddard now 11-8 on the season, 1-1 in district play. And then came the boys' game, and Lovington's pretty tough, but Goddard won that game 66-61. It was a 2-point margin with just a minute left, but Goddard put it away in that last minute and are now 13-9 on the season. The Rockets 2-0 in district play. Goddard will take on Artesia this Friday on the road. The boys from Artesia likewise are 2-0 after beating Portales. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Emory University has announced that it will increase its financial aid for students from low-income households and eliminate its need-based loan program. The push to help more students graduate debt-free will begin next school year, the university said in a news release Monday. It said it plans to give out $8 million more in grants and scholarships, bringing its total need-based aid program to $151 million annually. Ethiopian Airlines says it has resumed flights with the Boeing 737 MAX nearly 3 years after a crash of one of the aircraft outside the country's capital killed 157 people. The airline said in a statement Tuesday that passengers on the day's flight included government officials and diplomats. On Wall Street, the Dow up 273 points, the Nasdaq up 106, and the S&P 500 rose 31 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
Fergie's Plumbing and Heating now has financing available through One Main Financial. Let Fergie's keep your house warm all winter long. Call 622-2260 today. And when you get a new HVAC unit from Fergie's, you get a $50 Cattle Baron gift card on them. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating, 622-2260.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women. Mike recommends that if you see a tribe of hairy women, you don't call them gorillas. Here's Mike Winters.
And it's 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Ahead of Friday's release of the government's January jobs report, a private report from payroll processor ADP says American employers cut 301,000 jobs last month, the steepest decline since the start of the pandemic. And the Biden administration appears to be lowering expectations for the Friday report.
White House officials, from the president's economic advisor to press secretary Jen Psaki, are warning that January's jobs numbers could be lower because the coronavirus surge was at its height when last month's surveys were taken.
So we just wanted to kind of prepare, people to understand how the data is taken, what they're looking at.
She said nearly 9 million people called out sick in early January when the jobs data were being collected. Greg Clugston, Washington.
From the Rockies to Texas, Midwest into the Northeast, a large swath of the country expecting some heavy winter weather. Winter storm watches and warnings cover a vast area. 2 college employees are dead following a shooting yesterday afternoon on campus at Virginia's Bridgewater College. One of the victims, a campus police officer, the other, a school safety officer. Caleb Needle, a senior at Bridgewater.
We were all just sitting in our class, and then all of a sudden we just heard a gunshot. We thought maybe someone ran into something, and then all of a sudden we heard another 2, and everyone just dropped to the floor. We all just dropped and laid in the building, barricaded ourselves, and just waited it out until everyone got here to help us.
That audio from WHSV-TV. A 27-year-old suspect is under arrest. Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. And the new name of the Washington football team, the Commanders. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street right now. The Dow is down 9 points, so the Nasdaq trading 99 points higher, and the S&P is up 22. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman, and often this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Some public universities in Afghanistan have reopened for the first time since the Taliban took control of the country.
Those Afghan universities in warmer provinces reopened on Wednesday, with female students entering via separate doors. In some places, local officials have been asked to conduct separate classes for male and female students, or follow staggered operating hours to divide the genders. One witness said Taliban fighters could be seen guarding the entrance of Lakhman University. The Taliban, which which barred female education when they last ruled the country, say women students must wear the hijab and the curriculum must be based on Islamic principles. More universities are scheduled to open later this month, but all secondary schools for girls remain closed.
The BBC's Embarrassing Eti Rajan. Inflation fueled by high oil and gas prices has hit record levels in Europe for the third month in a row. News and analysis at townhall.com. Native American tribes have agreed to a $590 million opioid-related settlement.
A court filing made Tuesday in Cleveland lays out the details of the settlements with drug maker Johnson & Johnson and distribution companies AmerisourceBergen, Cardinal Health, and McKesson. The same companies are close to final approval of a $26 billion settlement with state and local governments of claims about their role in a crisis linked to more than 500,000 deaths in the U.S. Some tribes have been hit particularly hard by the overdose and addiction crisis. John Scott reporting.
A funeral today at New York City's St. Patrick's Cathedral for fallen NYPD officer Wilbert Mora, shot and killed along with his partner Jason Rivera while they were answering a domestic violence call in Harlem last month. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow is now up 10 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number. Here comes Roy. 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Sean busy in there?
I guess so.
All right. He does have a whole nother show to do, so I'll give him a little slack this time. He just runs around here like a chicken with his head cut off, so I'll give him a little slack.
He's probably like Andres. So
do the Deuce. But happy Wednesday morning. I'm so tired. I'm still thinking it's Tuesday. But hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. The groundhog saw its shadow. 6 more weeks of winter. I think I'm the first to report that. I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Everyone's all wrapped up in.
Yeah, I knew he would see
stuff.
a shadow, but I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought seeing a shadow meant less winter, shorter winter.
Yeah, no, it's the other way around. Although, honestly, like, do you think it's changed? Like, do you think like back in the day and they just flipped it on us and okey-doked it? And like, if you go back and it's one of those, what do they call it? The Nelson Mandela effect or the Mandela effect, where certain sect of the population believes one thing's one way. And another sect believes it's the other. And it's usually things for like, Luke, I'm your father, and people swear they heard this way. And
or Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, Berenstein, and when did Mandela die? Hence the reason they call it the Mandela effect. But maybe Puxtawney Phil that they're doing a Mandela effect on us, and maybe at one time they flipped. No, it always meant 6 more weeks of winter. No. What do you remember? No, I remember as a kid. Now we're going to Mandela effect the Groundhog Day. See, Sean? Come here, Sean. Because I'm sure he's got thoughts on this. Come here.
I was literally just here to say the deuce, but all right.
Oh, you're deuce
I know,
too late.
I'm long late.
You're a deuce too late.
I was dealing with a phone call.
So he was saying he thought it was the other way around, about 6 weeks of winter, seeing the shadow. So I
never can remember one way or the other.
I floated a theory out there that they Mandela affected Puxatawny Phil.
Yeah?
Like, I think people are swearing they remember. I bet we're going to get that. Like half the population swears it. Back in the day, it was the other way around or something.
Well, who's the one who's in charge of keeping track of that stuff? I guess
one of those guys in the top
somebody
hats.
in
I don't know. Like, where's Phil at the rest of the year?
Inside.
Like, do they have a zoo in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania?
I'm
where they
sure.
Where they
I'm
keep
sure
Phil?
Punxsutawney Phil has a mansion, has like a trust fund.
Yeah. Like, does he own business? Like, can you go to Phil's Fritters in Puxatawny or
I'm curious what his pronouns
Phil's Hardware?
are.
I think we should take a field trip and go.
A field trip?
Do you think he's a Wednesday?
Did you say a field trip?
A field trip. We should take a field trip.
A field trip.
We should take mornings with Mike on the road.
I like it.
We're going on a field trip.
A Punxsutawney Phil trip.
I like it. A field trip.
Field, yes. Field, F-I-E-L-D.
More importantly, whatever happened to Bill Murray's brother?
I was just going to say, Puxatawny's got to be hanging out with Bill Murray's brother.
Right?
If I was Bill Murray's brother, I'd live in Puxatawny, and I'd literally just keep that kayfabe up all my life.
Yes.
By the way, so people speculate as to how long Bill Murray's character was actually stuck in the loop in Groundhog Day.
Uh-huh.
So the director of the movie says roughly 30 to 40 years is how long he was stuck.
Wow.
But the book says that he was stuck in the loop for 10,000 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, because if you think about it, the everything that he becomes an expert in, if you add up and compound all the things that he learns over that time, it would take a bunch of years, decades.
Now let me. All right, now
Definitely more than 3 days.
Right.
All right, now I've got a would you wanna question. Like in theory, now you're going to live 10,000 years,
right?
Or give or take 50 or 60 or 80.
This is the argument that I've had.
10,000 and we'll say 80. You had a good run,
right?
Years there, okay. Would you want that?
No.
Knowing 10,000 of those days are the same day.
This is the same argument I have when I watch like the Eternals or anything like that. Can you just imagine every relationship, every connection that you make, you have to watch them die.
Well, here's my hole in the. All right, here's the two things. I think I'd want that because the part of me in my brain.
To watch people die.
Well, no, not that part. But if it's if it's Groundhog Day and every day is that same day, it's the same people and the same thing, and he's using this time to brush up on piano and all these other and these other skill sets.
Have you got a piano?
These other skill sets, right?
I think I'd rather live the same day over and over again than be immortal.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I don't know that I'd want to watch every relationship die versus it's a brand new relationship every single day and now I get to be superhuman.
That is true. You would just have to watch that one old man die every day.
but if you knew that at some point you're going to get out of it and you're going to live the rest of your natural life with now all this 10,000 years of history's knowledge under your belt, I got to be honest. That's appealing to me.
Right?
You know what I mean? To say, you know what? All right, I'm going to have to deal with this for 10,000 years. I'm going to get up. Listen, I got you, babe, and Ryerson and all of that stuff.
I would definitely never listen to that song again.
Yeah, I would be done with Sonny and Cher.
I'd be like, you ever put that in? That is, I will stab you in the eye.
But
I've seen that video. I don't think it's 10,000 years, honestly.
Well, even if it's 40 or 10. 10 years, whatever it is, that number.
It's at least decades. At least because to be the concert pianist, to do all, like we said, all those things, it's definitely.
I'm not going to lie, to be, as a morning show guy who kind of has to be a jack of all trades type guy anyway, that's kind of my jam. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. I know a lot about nothing. That's kind of how I roll. But to have an opportunity where you're saying, all right, we're going to take a time out for 10 years, 50 years, and you just get to sit here and do things you want to better yourself. And then when you figure out what whatever it is, falls in love, or whatever it is. It
Well,
finally,
yeah, that's the message of the movie, right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's not like he starts being selfless instead of doing it for
whatever,
himself.
whatever purgatory lesson he had to learn to finally say, all right, welcome to the next January or February 3rd. I would say I might take that because knowing that if I could get out on the other side, I mean, that's the trick. You don't know, but I got to be honest. I think at some point I'm like, all right, look at me. Like everyone thinks I'm, smart, sophisticated,
Like he spends 20 times at least trying to get the girl or something, and it just doesn't work out until he.
I would think
until
after
he stops
10,000
trying.
years, though, maybe you pick a different one. That's just saying, like clearly this one's not India. You're pretty suave now. Let's get you. Let's do an upgrade.
Well, it's a new day every day, so you're hoping that this is the time.
Yeah. But I don't know. Now that I think about it, I think I'd take that Pepsi challenge.
And I just thought, like driving your car off a cliff.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
and knowing you're gonna wake up.
Yeah, the suicidal phase would be rough. But I mean, but if I went knowing in like, I'm stuck. I mean, yeah, obviously he's going through and learning and has no idea. So yeah, I could see all those emotions. But if you went in with the foresight and knowing, I'm going to be here a while, and nothing I do is going to change that until I learn whatever life lesson I got to learn.
After 4, I think you figure out.
Yeah.
You're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, first couple days are going to be a little weird. I probably do some highly illegal things and, go on, do all the things you want to do.
Yep.
But you can't because laws.
Because there's this thing.
Well, yeah, like that scene where he's like, I'm a god.
Yeah. But
rules don't apply to me.
Like just rolling up in a buffet and sticking your nasty hand in there and walk out. How often will that be? I ain't gonna lie. Those are the kind of things I want to do.
See, I would be doing the things like watching the Wells Fargo van. I'd be like, yep, there we go. Walking in. Taken.
Oh yeah,
I would definitely do all that stuff.
Commit a few. I watch a lot of Animal Kingdom right now. Have you ever seen that show?
Oh my gosh, I got into that again too.
so yeah, people planning those style heists.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's. I don't know. I mean, yeah. That's not an easy thing to just jump on board with. But I ain't gonna lie. If the end result is you come out a better human being and some kind of, who knows, maybe I could fix problems. I might come out on the other side and solve world peace and all those things that we can't do. Yep. So that we don't keep asking Miss America world peace and all that. Maybe we'll knock that one off the list for them to answer, Maybe I can do that. Yeah. If I got 10,000 years to learn humanity, or even if it's 40 years and I got nothing else better to do, I'm just saying, I could do some good with that. And pad my own pockets, of course,
Well, of course.
Gotta protect me and mine. But I'm just saying,
Did that come out before or after Caddyshack?
Oh, that was after. Yeah,
Way
Caddyshack
after.
Was
Caddyshack was early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, 82.
That was one of Bill Murray's first movies.
Caddyshack was 82.
Matter of fact, Caddyshack 2 may have came out before Groundhog Day did.
It did.
I don't know the dates on 2. But
yeah, Caddyshack was Bill Murray's, like one of his first movies.
By the way, Caddyshack 1, amazing. 2?
Yes.
I don't even know there was a 2.
Yeah.
Nobody does. We don't talk about that.
The only similarities, they locked in Kenny Loggins for both.
Well, and Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you remember you may not. I know Andrea does, but if you remember I'm going on. Nobody's Fool? That song? It's a Kenny Loggins. That was the theme song for Caddyshack.
Shack 2.
Oh, okay. See, I wouldn't know.
It wasn't as kitschy.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Dangerfield wasn't in the second one. It was
it
was the other comedian. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
He played the aardvark.
Yeah, but that guy was a down. No.
Dangerfield was one.
Dangerfield. Oh, that was a downgrade, and that's why. To be honest, my opinion, the lack of Dangerfield in 2 makes
Jackie Mason.
Yeah, Jackie Mason. Thank you. Jackie Mason's funny, but he ain't Dangerfield in my world.
No, Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah. Dangerfield's a guy's guy. Where Jackie Mason's kind of like, if you're a New Yorker guy and grew up, he's your guy. But, he's very, I don't know, just his delivery, the way he talks, he's very.
Caddyshack 1, that whole ensemble, that cast was.
And something about Dangerfield just walking in, just like every muscle moving and shaking, like, I gotta tell you, boy, how he does all that. I love that. That's Dangerfield, man. I loved him. You know, Easy Money, one of my favorite movies. Love that movie.
Pool Pond. I think you're more the pond.
Back to School is a classic.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite stand-up comics is in that movie, too.
Who?
Sam Kinison.
The great late Sam Kinison.
He's the history teacher in there. And, and they start... Because do you know who Sam Kinison is?
He's the one that screams, right?
That's him. Yeah. Yeah.
Does he scream in that one?
He does.
Okay.
That was
his thing.
To be honest, he blew up bigger after Back to School. Like he was famous for Back to School but I think that was pre Jessica Hahn and all that mess.
Yes.
So he wasn't
I forgot about that.
He wasn't like but yeah, back when all that went down, he was a household name like a Kardashian would be today for a hot minute there.
Yep.
And of course his problem was he was alcohol, drugs. And ironically enough, he finally cleaned up and turned himself around, and he was driving to Vegas to do a gig and got hit by a drunk driver and killed.
Yep.
Oh man.
In what was that? Early 90s, something like that. I don't remember the date, but it was around early 90s.
Oh, Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
So I've started listening to the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
podcast.
getting a few extra listeners over the last couple weekends here.
So that's why I went in, to be honest. And he had Carrot Top on
I was
a
just
couple
about
weeks
to
ago.
segue into that.
And
have you seen him lately?
Okay, so Carrot Top. Okay, I've always had an affinity for Carrot Top. My husband's gonna cringe because he's like, oh my gosh. So I've always had a thing because I thought Carrot Top was always hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
Always been hilarious.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like boyhood cute-ish. Like he wasn't handsome or anything to die, but he was like kind of funny, cute type thing.
He was a nerdy look starting
Then
out.
he got his Vegas gig.
Yeah.
Had nothing better to do with his life but pump iron.
Yeah.
So he got weird
He's
Carrot
like jacked.
Top.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Well, he's not jacked anymore.
Oh, he's dejacked?
And he was talking about that with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he's got like skin hanging out.
Well,
Yeah, because he goes, I was out of control. I was working out like 3-4 hours a day because I had nothing better to do. And then that weird plastic surgery.
And that's where he got weird. It wasn't the working out. I think if he just left it at working out, but he's a redhead. He's a redhead, fair-skinned dude.
Yes.
And he tried to look like he hangs out in Vegas all the time and get that sun-weathered look. And I know enough to know that uber white people don't do that. Never. You don't do. You either burn red or you stay pasty white. That's what happens. I know. Okay. So anytime you want that look and that's not your pot, you got to do chemicals and weirdness to do all that. And so he looked like he still had his blazing red hair, but this weird colored skin that was like a Donald Trump orange and it was a weird look, man. And it made it worse the fact that he was a redhead. And so now you don't want to mess with him because he looked like Lou Ferrigno walking in the room. But yeah, you're right.
Well, now he looks scraggly and he's got like, I think mascara on or something.
Yeah, he kind of did that. Did he get a tattoo thing or something?
I don't know, but yeah, and then he's got a goatee, and his goatee is like brown, and he's got his Carrot Top head. So I'm watching this podcast because it's not just the podcast. Seth also does
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
God, Seth Rogen. That's the other guy. Joe Rogan. He videos everything, and so I'm watching it. And it was like a train wreck, actually. I could not stop staring at Carrot Top because I'm like, this is old man Carrot Top now.
He's got like long hair too now.
Is he about 50?
56 years old.
56. Wow. Okay.
But no, I don't know things about Carrot Top.
Yeah, you should watch that interview because he was talking about like how he's messing with Gene Simmons and talking about how he's never heard of Kiss before, and then Gene was like, "Get out."
Yeah, Carrot Top's an odd dude, but he's funny. You're right.
He is hilarious.
So is his comedy still the big trunk with all the stuff, or is that done with all that?
No, he kind of, they talked about that, how he kind of reinvented prop comedy.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of other prop comics anymore because of that.
It's hacky, I'm not going to lie, but if anyone's going to do it, he's the guy that should do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like Gallagher's shtick was
Watermelons.
It was funny to a point, but if anyone tried to but that got dumb is when the brothers started jumping in and there was Gallagher 2 running around doing the same thing Gallagher 1 was, which by the way, Gallagher 2 showed up in Alamogordo, New Mexico in 1998 when I was stationed at Holloman Air Force Base, there was a bar right outside of it's now a VFW post or something, but there was a bar right outside the base gate there called, I think it was Shooters or something like that. And I think it was a pool hall bar place. But they would do concerts and things every once in a while. Like one time they had not Thunder from Down Under, the other ones, the Chippendales. They had like probably the C team or whatever for Chippendales show up. But then
was Chris Farley there?
Maybe it might have been the Farley Chippendale. I remember seeing a sign, Gallagher 2. I didn't go to the show, but yeah, for a good month they were promoting Gallagher 2 showing up. And if you don't know, Gallagher 2 is Gallagher's brother, and he looks kind of just like him. Same stupid.
Is he literally called Gallagher 2?
Well, for a hot minute, they had a falling out, and he stole his brother's show and went to places like Alamogordo, New Mexico, and did it.
Bless America.
Yeah.
I loved Gallagher growing up, and Sam Kinison and Carrot Top was when I was in junior high school, and he started to get really hot.
Yeah.
Like, not hot like, whoo, you're hot and cute, but like hot like he was the thing.
He was on people's radar.
And so I've just always followed Carrot Top because he's that train wreck you can't stop looking at.
I liked him because he was unique at the time.
Yeah.
And then people kind of crowbarred in on his gig and stuff. But yeah, he was the original guy.
He's at the Luxor. So you can see him 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
Yeah. And
Not that I know things.
And if you don't if that doesn't fill your void of tanned muscle dudes, then you can go on down to check out Chris Angel and do his show on the street.
Oh, that's what he looks like. That's what Carrot Top looks like right now.
He does. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember real quick, and then I got to wrap this up. But when my wife and I went to Vegas about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, whatever, for a couple days, and we went to Chris Angel's show there at I think it was at the Luxor. Now that I think about it, he was there at the Luxor, and it's the one with the Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Mind Freak. I don't know. No, it's not Mind Freak, but it's
Cirque du Freak.
Something, I don't remember what it's called.
Something like that.
But it's his magic with all the Cirque du Soleil freakiness in there too. So it's a dark version of Cirque du Soleil, if that's possible. But anyway, I will never forget two things. We went to Madame Tussauds, like either right before or right after that day before or day after, the Wax Museum. And of course they have a Chris Angel thing. And I'm pretty sure my wife molested it. I'm I don't know how there's still abs on the wax figure because there was so much rubbing of said abs. Like, I'm surprised it's just not smooth because she weared off all the wax on the wax dummy.
I'm glad it's a school day.
Right? Yeah, I'll be Doghouse City. But been there before though. I got a little room there.
It's just a flat stomach now.
Yeah, it just looks missing. It's like rubbed out, like blurred out. It's all blurred. Because it's just all the wax kind of pushed out. It's like someone lit a candle to his stomach. Anyway, his belly went like a candle in the wind. But anyway, but then we went to the show. And she's fawning all over. And then there's they don't let you take pictures in shows in Vegas and all that, video, because, pirates and all that. But towards the end of the show, Chris Angel's like, all right, y'all whip out your cameras and your phones right now. And he literally stood there with guns out and the whole nine. And it looked like, it just looked like a press conference. Just light bulbs everywhere. And
wow.
Women, including my wife, swooning over Chris Angel. And I'm like, ugh.
That's weird.
I should have learned magic. Of course, I had to learn magic. I look like Howard Wolowitz, not Chris Angel.
You could have been Howard Wolowitz.
Not Chris Angel.
Oh, it's so cringy. Have you gone back and watched that show at all?
Who?
Chris Angel Mind Freak?
I have not. I have not watched it in a couple years. It's been a hot minute since I've watched it.
Like, you can see all the little, camera tricks.
Oh, blowing up his stuff? Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, David Blaine was that guy for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when I first saw David Blaine, I ain't gonna admit, he had me duped. He had me hook, line, and sinker. I was like, this dude's in the street doing it. How are you gonna fake all? And then I learned all the secrets and all that. But for a hot minute, When he was showing those specials on TV where he's down in like Haiti ripping chickens' heads off and got half the village chasing him. Yeah, I was all about that. Yeah, it's awesome.
And drowning himself.
Yeah, but then it's all, all a bunch of hokum.
It always is. It's magic.
It always is.
Have you seen the Harrison? Sorry, I'm sorry. There's a Harrison Ford one where he's in his house and he like pulls some trick where he like cuts an orange and there's a card in there or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he makes Harrison Ford just say like, "Get the F out of my house."
He should have hid Harrison Ford's plane keys. Is what they should have done. Keep him on the ground. He keeps running into stuff.
I know Han Solo can't fly.
Yeah. He should have hid his keys and do a magic trick and don't give them back to him. Stick him behind that glass and don't let him get through the glass to get the keys for the safety of everybody. All right, it is 8:30. I haven't done anything. I guess my guests aren't going to make it. They're not sitting on the lobby here waiting just patiently, are they? Yeah. He looked around like they're hiding.
I was like, oh, no.
So he's looking around like he might be there. All right, it is 8:29. Here's your not-so-good weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and will drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. We're officially in it, the winter storm warning. That's going to remain in effect through noon tomorrow. We are looking at a 70% chance of moisture today. They're saying rain and snow mix likely after 2 o'clock today. Cloudy. Our high is supposed to reach 40. That's going to be our warm day, so enjoy that. Winds will be out of the east, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying if we get any kind of snow totals during the day today, it'll be less than an inch. Tonight, we're getting snow. Pretty good chance. They're saying like a 90% chance of snow. Overnight low of 14, so that's going to be cold. So, yes. Do your faucet drippings and don't leave the pets out. You shouldn't be doing that anyway right now this time of year, but really don't do it tonight and the next couple nights. But we're looking at maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow overnight tonight. For you Thursday, a 30% chance of snow before 11, and then everything will start tapering off around midday here. But cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny. High of only 25 tomorrow, so there's going to be no melting of any kind, way, shape, or form. But they say our wind chill values could be as low as 0 tomorrow. So it's going to look and feel cold. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we get any more snow tomorrow, less than a half an inch. So our real snow getting will be tonight overnight. Friday, sunny skies. Oh, I'm sorry. Thursday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 7. Yeah, 7. There's not a teen or a 20 or any of that in front of it. It's 7. Wind chill values as low as -1 with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, we may get to freezing. Sunny, high of 31 is what they're saying. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday night, another single-digit night, overnight low of 8. Yep, you're going from Joe Theismann Thursday night to Steve Young Friday night. Those are football numbers for those people don't know. And then Saturday, sunny, 42. Saturday night, mostly clear, overnight low of Jason Campbell. That one's a little bit more obscure. 17. And then Sunday, we're looking at highs around 48. And then Monday, we'll be back around 50. So buckle up. It's about to get a little hairy for the next couple days here. So please do your prep work. I know everyone's going to be BMTP and running out and clearing the shelves there on that stuff, but do your due diligence at home. You know, if you've got if you've got those pipes and things that are, especially the ones that are kind of on the outside of your home, you're going to want to make sure you drip those faucets. Open those cabinets under your sink to let the heat into those pipes. You don't have to, go into all the others, but definitely want to make sure, especially tomorrow night and the night before, we're getting that 7 and 8. And if you do get frozen pipes, don't slowly warm them up. Don't, otherwise you get burst pipes and whole nine thing there. It's if it does happen, but be careful. What is it? 8:33? Yeah, let's do commercials and stuff. All right, it's 8:33. Let's go ahead and do a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to follow that up with the local news, and then we'll come back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary 10 grand less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kintai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings.
Did you know that the New Mexico Department of Health has public health offices throughout the entire state? Every New Mexican is invited to visit the public health offices for free. You can receive support for both adults and children in your household. The Department of Health's public health offices provides free health and nutritional services for your entire family. Each location has its own hours of operation and a unique set of services. Visit nmpublichealth.org to schedule an appointment with the New Mexico Department of Health Public Health Office near you.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
This is Noreen Teal with the New Mexico Workforce Connection Centers with a special announcement. On Tuesday, February 8th, from 2 to 6 p.m., the workforce offices across the state will be hosting a rapid hire event. We will be conducting on-site interviews for multiple positions. Do you have a passion for helping others? Excellent customer service and communication skills, and are you looking for a career opportunity that offers benefits including paid holidays, insurance, and a retirement plan on day one? If you answered yes, then we want you. Please bring your resume, 3 professional references, and school transcripts to be considered for one of the many positions we have available. For more information, please call 800-303-3599.
Now for a Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County has been awarded $750,000 in community development block grant funding. The money coming from an overall $10.5 million kitty being doled out around the state. The funding will be used for water, wastewater, streets and drainage, and public facilities projects. An additional $1.6 million will be used for economic development and planning projects. And due to the anticipated freezing temperatures, the former Joe Stanley Smith Elementary School at 505 Alta Vista is being opened starting tonight as a temporary shelter. This is through a partnership between the city and Carlsbad Municipal Schools. The shelter will remain open until the need subsides. The Community of Hope Center at 1314 South Canal Street is also offering shelter for those who need it. You can call the Community of Hope Center at 575-200-1377. First responders have been instructed to assist individuals who require help with getting to a shelter. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and will drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck? The sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:38. Yeah, I guess my guests aren't going to make it here today. So, hence all the chit-chat and all the gut stuff we got going on here. You know what? I'm going to throw out a little, I don't do this very often, but I'm going to do it today. If you happen to be out and about today and you happen to come across Amy McVeigh-Tejas in your path as you're visiting and going about town and things like that, make sure that if you see her, that you wish Amy McVeigh-Tejas a very, very happy birthday today. Yes, she is celebrating her birthday, and let's everybody get out there and wish her a happy birthday. She was out. Matter of fact, I was with her late last night. She was because she too is part of Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, and was there helping out and getting everything going and all that. And a big thank you and shout out to all of the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. They did an amazing job. I know they spend a lot of time thanking me, and to be honest, they do 10 times the work and all that. I mean, I really do have the easy job. It's kind of that lightning rod thing where, the glory and the blame and all that kind of stuff. Kind of being the radio guy, people like to, throw me the shine, and I don't necessarily deserve all that credit. There was a lot more people doing a lot more things than I do, making those kind of things happen. So, big thank you to all the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association members that got last night put together. They did an amazing job. Oh, I got to turn your mic on. So,
I watched that.
Yeah, they did a great job because there's a lot of moving parts to putting together something like that. It's a lot of people like, wow, it's great, y'all. But I gotta be honest, getting it out there is not the hardest part of this whole equation. I mean, especially when you have a municipal election like we do this time, where we have so many candidates that are running for all these various city council and mayoral positions here. And it's a lot of moving parts, getting everyone on board, getting a place, in a COVID world that'll let you come do these kind of events, getting that stuff happen. So a big thank you to the sponsors, the individuals involved, the people that gave of their time and their efforts to make that happen last night. Overall, everything was a huge success. I think the candidates did a great job expressing their issues and discussing what they had to say. The staff did a great job of executing the X's and O's and making sure everything went off without a hitch. We had a great crowd last night, too. I forgot to mention that. I would say there was seats left, but not a lot. There was the Pueblo Auditorium, which they don't use the upper balcony. That's been closed off for years for public to sit and watch.
At first, I thought it was the NIMI.
No, not Pearson.
Gala place.
Yeah, not the Pearson Auditorium, the Pueblo Auditorium. Equally historic, very old place and beautiful facility, but different place. Well, I think the Pearson seats about 1,200-ish, somewhere around there, and the Pueblo seats about 400, I think. And that may be including the balcony. I'm not sure, but I would say that good. I would say at least 2/3 to 3/4 of the bottom was filled with people last night attending the event. So
okay,
and I ain't gonna lie, it was a pack your lunch thing. We got started at 6, and it was about 10 minutes after 9 or so before we wrapped, between 10 and quarter after. We about wrapped up for the evening. So it's 3 hours. But there's a lot of information.
Tanner was telling me that it wasn't too much of it wasn't a hard setup or anything. He just brought too much stuff because he just in case.
Well, that's the rule of thumb. You always bring more than you need, and because it's the rule. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's kind of the rule, the kind of the mentality there on that. But it was great. I was impressed. I thought I think the question committee did a good job of coming up with some good questions to get to evoke some good responses out of people and get. I think you saw a little bit of everything last night, as far as you've seen people's personalities to how they handle poignant questions to to even the human side where people we're humans, we joke, we talk, things like that, and you got to see a little bit of that from everybody last night too. So it's I highly recommend, if you did not get a chance to watch it,
go check it out.
Go to ksvptv.com. You'll see if you go there this second, you're going to see I think 5 different channels across the top. The one on the far left is the one for the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Municipal Candidate Forum. And then I think for folks in Artesia, right next to that is their mayoral forum that they had about a week ago at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center. Had a forum for all the mayoral candidates in Artesia. You can go back and watch that out for folks that they are voting in that race. And then right after that, it's Gene's show, my show, and then I think we get into the sports and all that after that. But it's right there, ksvptv.com. Go there and click the link, and you can watch it. And I'm not sure at some point if Tanner's going to separate the races from each other or not. I haven't got a chance to talk to him about that. But
the what?
Taking in the video and highlighting out.
The candidates.
Ward 1, Ward 2.
The wards, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to plan on doing. He's off today, so we'll chit chat.
It's also available on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, we do have our YouTube and Facebook pages that you can follow it. And
it's KSVP.
Yeah, KSVP TV
for the YouTube, and I guess 106.5.
Yeah, that'll get you on Facebook. That one, or any of our 4 Facebook pages. I think it's on any of those. Faro, 929 The Brand. Maybe not KSVP on that one because that's more Tisha-centric, but the other 3 definitely should be there. So it is 8:45. Let me go ahead and take a quick commercial break here, and then we'll come back chit-chat. I haven't finished talking about my commander's thoughts yet either, so I'll jump on.
I'll get Sean for that because I don't know. I don't know about.
I got more to say.
I don't know about the foosball,
but it happened today. I'm underwhelmed because of the fact that I guess I don't mind the name. I kind of dig the uniforms. I kind of like them. I'm leaning towards liking those. The way Washington handled, as they do every PR related thing, they screwed this one up again, and they just can't get out of their own way with that stuff. So I like the fact that they want to do new and go new, and it's a new era, same, and we're committed, and I appreciate the effort, but because of the poor execution, it doesn't give me a lot of confidence that they're going to get this one right either. Like, it's now...
You mean the name?
Well, not the name, just the team. The team, the name is a symptom of a much bigger problem. There's a culture problem in that, and it starts.
They should have been called the Chiefs.
And it starts.
Oh wait,
that's already taken. But it starts with the owner, and until that changes, I'm not very confident that you're going to see a franchise the level of the Washington Redskins 1980s again in that building. I just don't think it's gonna. My opinion. As long as Daniel Snyder is the owner of that football team.
I was gonna say, do you know who the CEO is?
Yeah, Daniel Snyder owns the team. His wife, he's been owning it for. Well, he bought him in the '90s after the Jack Kent Cook passed, and that was a whole spiel.
Not Dan Schneider.
Dan Snyder.
Yeah. Snyder. Yeah.
No. Dan Snyder.
Not the iCarly guy.
Yeah, no. Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder is a billionaire. He made his money in malls, and I think he owns a piece of Six Flags. He's got a bunch of stuff going on, but he's financially he made a bunch of money, and because he was a millionaire in his 30s or 40s. And that's the part of the problem. He bought the team in his 40s, and he's a bad owner, and he's got money. He could live another 30. NFL owners seem to drop dead at 97 or something. They always live to be 600. And this guy started in his 40s. So we've got a long time of dealing with this clown unless someone forces him out. And that's the part where
it's all that healthy food.
It gets to the point where he barely even shows up because he knows the mere presence of him just eviscerates hate amongst Washington fans. He had to basically put his wife, Tanya Snyder, as the face of the franchise because his face is so hated by and Tanya is a much more nicer human, but she's still the puppet of Dan Snyder, and it just doesn't. It reeks oogie, and it's there's just a whole lot of it's just. And that's at the nucleus. That's why I hear the name, I see the stuff, and I'm like, it's going to be, They put new lipstick on this pig, but it's the same pig they're rolling out onto the field, and I'm worried that's going to get tarnished even more. So though I'm nervous and hoping that this is going to be awesome, I've been there, done that. I'm not going to go in blindly, just like Super Bowl and be like, I'm leery that this team knows what the heck they're doing.
It's time to play some football.
Yeah. So
no. I know the owner of the Mets is controversial. I forget who it is, but
yeah, I don't follow baseball at close, so I can't have an educated conversation about that. It is 8:49. Let's go ahead and get you into your town hall business update. Quick commercial break. We'll come back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Emory University has announced that it will increase its financial aid for students from low-income households and eliminate its need-based loan program. The push to help more students graduate debt-free will begin next school year, the university said in a news release Monday. It said it plans to give out $8 million more in grants and scholarships, bringing its total need-based aid program to $151 million annually. Ethiopian Airlines says it has resumed flights with the Boeing 737 MAX nearly 3 years after a crash of one of the aircraft outside the country's capital killed 157 people. The airline said in a statement Tuesday that passengers on the day's flight included government officials and diplomats. On Wall Street, the Dow up 273 points, the Nasdaq up 106, and the S&P 500 rose 31 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kintai, Mayor of Roswell. Since becoming mayor in 2014, we've accomplished a lot. We've cleaned out numerous derelict structures that spoil our neighborhoods. We've constructed a state-of-the-art aquatic center. We have built 2 new splash pads in city parks for families to enjoy. We have invested over $25 million to revitalize our air center. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the city of Roswell has stayed open and free while we work to ensure everyone's safety. Today, we are under attack from those trying to impose Santa Fe values on our way of life. I will always fight to keep Roswell values front and center. We've done a lot, but there's more to be done. I'm asking you to vote to keep me, Dennis Kintai, as your mayor on March 1st. Together, we can keep Roswell free. This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizer. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. Something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Noreen Teal with the New Mexico Workforce Connection Centers with a special announcement. On Tuesday, February 8th, from 2 to 6 p.m., the workforce offices across the state will be hosting a rapid hire event. We will be conducting on-site interviews for multiple positions. Do you have a passion for helping others, excellent customer service and communication skills, and are you looking for a career opportunity that offers benefits including paid holidays, insurance, and a retirement plan on day one? If you answered yes, then we want you. Please bring your resume, 3 professional references, and school transcripts to be considered for one of the many positions we have available. For more information, please call 800-303-3599.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends only 10 minutes a day speaking. Many wish Mike Winters was more like the average person. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:54. Got a few minutes here before we get you the top of the hour news and all that good stuff. Next hour, we're going to play our interview, a replay. Robert Sherman from Walker Aviation Museum joined us in the 7 o'clock hour yesterday. Gave us an update on what's happening out at the museum as they are gearing up, open up, getting more hours out there to be available for folks. They are in the need of volunteers. They want volunteers. If you have an interest in being a part of the museum, if you got a military background or maybe an aviation passion or who knows, maybe just want to, get involved. They really could use help. In many facets out there, helping with serving on the board. They got some good board members, but they're about half strength of the number of people that they would like to be serving on that board. So you could use some more members to be step up and be a part there with some of the day-to-day working as docents, things like that, to allow them to offer more open hours. Because right now they're trying to work it around the flight schedule out at the terminal. And, make sure they're open a couple hours before the flights take off there so passengers can kind of, spend a few minutes viewing the museum. But they'd like to be open, on a regular permanent hour basis, but due to staffing volunteers, it's just not possible. And so people fix that. So they can use more folks to do that. So we're going to play that interview for next hour, and we'll talk. And plus, we'll learn a little bit of history about some of the Walker Air Force Base and the museum. We talk a little bit about some of the aircraft. Every time Robert comes in, we do a little history segment, too. So we'll play that for you next hour. So back with the Commanders thing, like I said, I do like the uniforms. I am not going to lie. The more I'm looking at the uniforms, the more I'm digging them. I think as a longtime fan of the Washington Redskins and, burgundy and gold and seeing those uniforms and for the most part, much of the era of me being a fan, I would say it's safe to say I was old enough to understand and be a regular football fan of this team around 82, I'm going to say. So about 9 years old, around that time. That's when I started to get to a point where I'm like watching a game and saying, oh, this is your team. This is Washington. That started my indoctrination into being a lifelong Washington Redskin, now Commander fan. So it's in my blood, and it's one of those things where, and this is where I have people that are football fans of football teams, and this is, and it's because of my own experiences. I'm very aware of this, but I grew up in the DC area. That's my team, and though I haven't lived there, I've spent I'm at the point in my life now where I've spent as much time in New Mexico as I have. In the state I was born and raised in, and so I'm a Marylander by birth, but I'm New Mexican. That's where I live, but at the same time, that's what I grew up to, and so for me to even fathom liking and becoming a fan of another team is just foreign to me. I can't wrap that around my head because I literally feel like I was indoctrinated into it. It was a lifestyle culture. And it was the 80s, the heyday of Washington when we made what, really 4 Super Bowl appearances in the span of 10 years there, and winning 3 of them. And that's a pretty good run for any NFL franchise. Obviously the Niners, Cowboys, there's a few others that can say that same thing, but the Giants, I was, the NFC East was dominating in the 80s and into the 90s. It was NFC, I should say, because the Niners in the West were making some headway a lot in the 80s there too. But Giants, Washington, they're dominant, and then the Cowboys in the 90s there. It was kind of an NFC East thing. And so that's just what it is. So, and I know because I've been a fan this whole time. This team went downhill the moment Jack Kent Cooke passed away. That's what killed this franchise. And to be honest, it was a controversial thing. John Kent Cooke, which is the son of Jack Kent Cooke, he kind of was thinking he's lined up as the guy that's going to take over running the team. And I don't know all the details. I was still kind of young, and I haven't since gone back and read it. But basically, Jack Kent Cooke made it where he wasn't bequeathed to him. That he had to buy the team, and he lost. He lost the bidding war to Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder beat him out, and so the Cook family lost the team to Dan Snyder, and it's been downhill since then. So that's kind of why I'm sour, and why a lot of Washington fans are sour. But anyway, time for Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Thousands of American troops will soon be on the move in response to the ongoing impasse with Russia over Ukraine.
President Biden has said he will not put American troops in Ukraine to fight a Russian invasion, but he is sending troops to the region to reassure NATO allies. U.S. officials say about 2,000 troops from Fort Bragg, North Carolina will go to Poland and Germany this week, and roughly 1,000 soldiers already based in Germany will shift to Romania. The move comes following a steady buildup of Russian forces along Ukraine's border. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And at the Pentagon, spokesman John Kirby says the troop deployments send an important signal to America's allies.
We take our NATO commitments very, very seriously.
Kirby saying the U.S. still can't say exactly what Vladimir Putin is up to.
We do not know if Russia has made a final decision to further invade Ukraine, but it clearly has that capability.
Along with the troop movements announced today, 8,500 additional American soldiers have been placed on a heightened state of alert, those troops not being deployed at this time. Well, here we go again.
There is a large-scale storm system that's going to bring significant winter weather from the southern Rockies as far west as New Mexico, across the southern and central plains, into the upper Midwest, across the Great Lakes, and all the way across New England and in the Northeast and into New England over the next 48 hours.
National Weather Service meteorologist Josh Weiss. On the heels of an off-duty NYPD officer being shot and wounded in Queens, an attempted carjacking last night, today there will be a funeral mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral for fallen police officer Wilbert Mora. Watching Wall Street, stocks mixed at the moment. Right now, the Dow is down a dozen points, so the NASDAQ is 12 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
British researchers say spring is coming earlier to the UK, with plants flowering almost a month earlier nowadays than they did 4 decades ago.
The study confirms what many are seeing with their own eyes. Just as autumn leaf fall is being delayed by warmer weather, flowers are appearing ever earlier in spring. And according to researchers at the University of Cambridge, native trees, shrubs, climbers and wildflowers are coming into bloom almost a month earlier on average than in the 1980s. The scientists warn that if the trend continues, there are risks for farming and nature. If life cycles get out of sync, there are dangers for the birds, insects and other wildlife that rely on plants for food.
The BBC's Helen Briggs. Turkey's interior minister says authorities have recovered 12 bodies believed to be those of migrants who froze to death. They're being pushed back into Turkey near the border with Greece. Townhall.com. When the Irish dance troupe Riverdance kicks off its 25th anniversary North American tour later in the year, someone special will be in its high-stepping cast, the troupe's first black female dancer.
Virginia-born Morgan Bullock, who says she's been mesmerized by the dance style since she first saw it at age 10, will be making her professional U.S. stage debut in the production. She recently completed a United Kingdom tour with the show. While Bullock was known to producers since she attended a Riverdance summer school in Boston as a teenager, her profile exploded when TikTok videos of her high-kicking and tapping to hip-hop songs spread on social media. Keith Peters reporting.
There will be 6 more weeks of winter, at least that's the prediction of the Pennsylvania groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil. The Commanders, that's the newly announced name of the Washington football team. Again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow down 12 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Happy eve of Weather Wednesday.
Yep. Snowpocalypse 2022.
See what you're seeing right now?
Yeah.
Sunshine. We're not going to get a whole lot of that.
I see what I'm seeing.
Yeah, a little sunshine. That will change later today.
Soak it in.
Yeah. And tonight, you might see that white stuff that we all fear, dread, and some people wish every day.
Cocaine. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. Buckle up.
That's right. But, yeah, we'll get you up to details on that here in just a few. And we're going to play our interview, as I mentioned, in the last hour with Robert Sherman, Walker Aviation Museum.
Yep.
He joined us yesterday in the 7 o'clock hour. Really, they need volunteers. That's their big push right now. So we talk a lot about that, but we talk a little history, too. So we're going to play that for you here in just a couple minutes.
Apropos history right before...
I think I nailed it. Like, I was talking to Roy off air right there about I was finishing up my commander's thought. And I think that's part of it is the name. It's fine.
Right.
It's very corporate. It does, feels very...
It went through like 16 levels of approval.
Yeah, it doesn't feel embrace-worthy yet. And there's only one way to fix that.
Yeah.
They got to get good on the football field.
Well, that's true.
All the people that are hating on everything that they're doing right now all of that gets fixed when they start being a relevant football team on the field.
It's hard to call them commanders when they don't have command of the football.
None of this, we're just trying to get to 8-8, or we make the playoffs once every 10 years, and that's not acceptable anymore, man.
Right.
We got to, if you want to keep this base, you've got to return to what we saw in the 1980s with a team that, we want to, it's a franchise that saw that, and they want it back.
That's the thing, is you want to be fans.
Yeah.
You want to be fans of the team.
And
stop making it so actively hard to be.
And I will tell you this, being a fan and living and residing and being a fan of a Washington, D.C. based sports franchise is a little more unique than a lot of other areas.
Sure, because it's not an actual, state or
not so much, because you have people that live there. It's a city, and they cover Maryland and Virginia area as far as a fan base goes. But they are a transient population. D.C. proper.
Homeless?
No, it's a lot of people that live in D.C., but not a lot of them are from D.C.
Right.
They all grew up in Pittsburgh or Philly or Chicago or other places, and they come there because that's where their work takes them, or that's where life took them. And so they bring with them, they're fans of the Steelers, the thing. And so, and if you've been a team that stunk for 20 years, you're not going to sway people that lived there 20 years to start liking your stink fest when they've been rooting for the Steelers for the last 30 years. It's just not going to do that. So they've got that problem in D.C. To get go. So it's really hard for them to say build something like Green Bay has, or even Dallas to an extent. I mean, Dallas, they're global big in footprint, but they have a hardcore fan base that will go through walls for them. And Washington lost that. That the people that used to do that have long gone because of Dan Snyder.
Well, because of that's just bad decisions.
Yeah.
It's hard to get behind a team that's called the football team.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think that's. Well, and Dan Snyder's now, the people that are anti the new name, now they want to get rid of Dan Snyder because he basically said 3 years ago, we're never changing the name. It's always going to be Washington Redskins. Put that in all caps. That's what he said. And here we sit, Washington Commanders, February 2nd, 2022.
Never say never.
And to be honest, that's the least of what I'm mad about Dan Snyder about. But that one, I'm like, I'll even let that one slide because I get pressure. I understand the world will tell you what those things happen. That's just the nature of humanity. But
it'd be nice if they stopped focusing on where they're going to put the W on the uniform and start putting on the W in the actual win column.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. I like that. That's got a nugget of radio speak. But I think and Washington doesn't get that yet, and that's what the fan base and everyone's like, because I ain't gonna lie. They're the most cynical people. I mean, I bag on Philadelphia Eagle fans, talk about their awful fans. I have no room to talk. Washington football team fans are, but they're bitter. They're bitter people.
Sure,
that's what it is. They're not good fans either, but I know their mental health problem. I know why they're that way because I am, in essence, sort of one of them. I understand what they were given and what they've been shown and what they were told. They've been sold this proud franchise and seeing it on the field, and it almost has been by one man, almost single-handedly, destroyed in 20 years. Yeah. And it's the saddest thing for many of us fans. And it's I got to be honest.
Perfectly just described the situation in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I got to be honest. If I was a kid right now in Washington D.C. I would be mad that I've got forced to this. You know what I mean? I'm why do I get? I could see, and if I lived in the D.C. area, it's awful easy to be like, you know what? Let's just go up to a Ravens game here, about 30 miles up the road.
Sure.
Oh yeah, they win Super Bowls and are good. And
yeah, you guys certainly do have a glut of teams to root for in that region.
Well, and DC's base used to be bigger in the 80s too, because we also got our base cut into with expansion. The moment the Carolina Panthers were brought into the National Football League, that cut into Washington's Redskins fan base, because prior to that, between Washington, D.C., there wasn't another NFL team south till you hit Atlanta. And so a lot of the Carolina people were gravitating towards
north,
because guess what? Atlanta Falcons stunk in the 80s. Guess who was kicking butt? The Washington Redskins. So
sure, it's easy to root for a team that wins.
Well, yeah. But now they lost all that because they basically sold it up the river.
It's a building decade. It's fun.
Yeah. So
they're rebuilding.
So the Commander's name, meh. That's the thing. We've been rebuilding since 1999.
Yeah, since the Clinton administration?
Since Joe Gibbs retired the first time. All right, it is 9:13. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and will drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Looks like the sun's already going back behind the clouds already. It was a moment of sunshine there, but starting to peter out a little bit, looks like. We are in the midst of a winter storm warning. That will remain in effect through noon tomorrow. Today, we are looking at a 70% chance of rain and snow mix today, mainly after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Skies will be cloudy today. Expect highs near 40 with east winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we get any daytime snow, accumulation-wise, they say less than an inch today during the day. Now, tonight, we're looking at a 90% chance of snow. Overnight low of only 14, so it's going to be chilly tonight. North winds 15 miles per hour. Yeah. Winds are going to be higher than the temp. They're calling for 1 to 3 inches of snow overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, like I said, should be seeing 1 to 3 inches of snow on the ground. We do have a 30% chance of some more snow in the AM hours, mainly before 11 a.m. Gradually, that will clear off and the sun will come out, but it's not going to warm up a bunch. Our high is only expected to reach 25 tomorrow with a wind chill value as low as 0. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. If we get more snow tomorrow morning, they're saying less than a half an inch of accumulation. So, like I said, our real snow work will be tonight in the overnight hours. For your Friday, we are looking at, Thursday night. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 7 with a wind chill factor as -1. North winds 5 miles per hour. It's going to be freezing these next couple nights. Sunny on Friday. Highs near freezing, 31 for a high with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Another single-digit overnight low for Friday night, 8. The overnight low there will be in the low 40s on Saturday, sunny and 42. 17 for an overnight low Saturday night, and then Sunday will be 48 for a high, 19 for an overnight low Sunday, and then back up into the 50s, 52 for a high on Monday. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, we'll play our interview with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is Noreen Teal with the New Mexico Workforce Connection Centers with a special announcement. On Tuesday, February 8th, from 2 to 6 p.m., the workforce offices across the state will be hosting a rapid hire event. We will be conducting on-site interviews for multiple positions. Do you have a passion for helping others, excellent customer service and communication skills, and are you looking for a career opportunity that offers benefits including paid holidays, insurance, and a retirement plan on day one? If you answered yes, then we want you. Please bring your resume, 3 professional references, and school transcripts to be considered for one of the many positions we have available. For more information, please call 800-303-3599.
If your car breaks down, no need to cry, because there's always a pal nearby at Big O. At Big O Tires. Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires. Don't need to sweat any extra labor. You can always trust a good neighbor at Big O. at Big O Tires. The best service is part of our code. Need a cup of sugar? We're down the road at Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and get a $70 reward card on select Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. See store for details. Some stores in Missouri, Minnesota, and Kansas are company owned.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
Morning. And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, Robert.
Morning, Mike.
How you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good. May have some weather coming in, so, everyone hopefully prepares accordingly for that.
Right.
But, of course, for folks that aren't familiar, Walker Aviation Museum, which is located inside the air terminal, down at the base there. It is a museum that is devoted to, once was the Walker Air Force Base there, Roswell Army Airfield, and it's a museum dedicated to the history of that, as well as our Cold War era, and talking about our missile silos that called the Roswell area home for a few years there. And then as well as, their STEM mission, working, promoting STEM and getting youth interested in STEM-related careers and things like that. That's all part of the mission of the Walker Aviation Museum.
Right, absolutely.
So I guess your biggest need right now is people, isn't it?
We're kind of struggling because of we don't have very many people and money issues and stuff like that. So what we're doing right now is either myself or Bob Donnell and maybe in the future Katie Yates and stuff. But anyway, we'll go out for about 2.5 hours on Monday through Friday. And we get out there about 2.5 hours before the plane takes off. And we get, anywhere from, 7 to 12, 15 people coming in, just looking around.
Gotcha.
So we can continue to do that for now, but
you would like to expand those.
We got some other plans,
services, yeah.
We decided not to do golf tournament this year because of lack of people. I mean, it's kind of hard to go out and try to get a golf tournament all organized when you only got 2 or 3 people.
Just don't have the manpower to
trying
do that.
to do that and set that up. Plus, that those same several people are trying to keep the museum open.
Gotcha.
So we just don't have the manpower. What we may try to do, we don't know exactly, but we may try next year, and maybe to team up with somebody. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, somebody else trying to get together. We could do as a team.
Gotcha.
And if we don't have enough people. But hopefully by then we'll have 4, 5, 6 more people where we can maybe get someone to volunteer to come out once a week and open it up for like 4 hours.
Okay.
But right now, having us to go out there 5 days a week and open it for 4 or 5 hours is
it's really hard.
It's kind of hard. Yeah.
So, but like you said, if there's people that are listening out there that would love to donate a few hours a week to serve at the museum, or
think about joining our board.
Yeah, serving on the board or being a part of it in a bigger way, please reach out. I think you're going to really have some fun because it's like when you volunteer, there's little perks too. I mean, you're doing a great thing in helping. Raise awareness and helping promoting the STEM and the various values of the museum. But you also get to kind of see things and get to peel into history and there's just cool things that happen from time to time. Like here's a gee whiz one. What was it, about 2 years ago? David Copperfield come rolling through looking for history on his father or something that spent some time here. There was
all the time you get people coming that their dad was this or that.
It's just stuff like that. Or you go through the collection that the museum has, and you get to see all these heirlooms and artifacts from the time at Walker Aviation Museum. And I don't know, I dig that kind of stuff. And I know there's a lot of people that love seeing and kind of getting first hands with that kind of stuff too. And working with the museum, you kind of get to do stuff like that. So if you kind of have an interest in that, reach out to the museum, and or if maybe you want to you have aspirations, a younger person that has aspirations of wanting to be a pilot or getting in a career field of aviation or something like that, or military. This is a great chance to maybe hang out with some people that chewed some of that dirt and learn a little bit about the history of what you're getting into here. So.
Yeah, we had a gentleman yesterday was there when we opened up, Brandon Smith, and he's a student out at Eastern to be an aircraft mechanic, and he's also wants to be a pilot eventually. And he said he's here to help us maybe work with the kids, so he's going to maybe come out Friday, and we're going to get him on the flight simulators, get him up to speed, so that if we have a group coming out when he's available, not going to class, he said he'd be more than happy to come and help us out. So
very cool.
That's just kind of typical what we have, people, floating in and out that are here and wanting to help and stuff like that. So that's good.
Very
That's
cool.
A positive thing.
Absolutely.
Our current board members are myself and Katie Yates is our treasurer, Sandy Correa. She's going to kill me for mispronouncing her last name. Anyway, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, and Friar Yuddik Norwaki.
Very cool.
So that's the big eight. But we need about 15 or 20 people on the board.
Gotcha. So if you want to serve in that capacity too, looking for individuals that would love to be a part of that too, and I'm guessing also now with the news of you just mentioning that the golf tournament in May is going to be canceled. That's a big fundraiser for the museum.
Yeah, right.
So I imagine funds are going to be needed as well here too.
As a matter of fact, our rent is very reasonable, by the way. Thank you to the
City of
airport.
Roswell.
Yeah.
Hooked you up.
But it is doubling in the next few months.
Okay.
So, it's not significant like trying to be downtown on Main Street.
But it's an added expense.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be in the 300, close to 400 range.
Okay.
About 350, whatever. But that's, we're going to be approaching probably various folks, like we do in a golf tournament, and to see if they can support us for a month.
Sure.
And get a nice big sign up, which will be visible to everybody, even when the big screen 16-foot door is down. We'll see, they have a light going so they can see who's supporting the museum this month, and then another little sign next to it showing the people that have supported in the past months. So they can continue to get some marketing from that point of view there, and it would really help us out. So we'll probably be approaching that task here pretty quick.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to help out, reach out, and
we'll be contacting some people in person and kind of showing them what we're doing. And a lot of people are interested in the fact that, number one, we do provide the history.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the kids come out, they get a shot of we have two touchscreen computers in our screens in our museum,
mm-hmm.
and it gives you 2-minute history of the Walker Air Force Base,
mm-hmm.
and then a 2-minute history of the Atlas F missile.
Gotcha.
So then we also give them some other history and stuff real quick, and then we proceed into, getting them oriented toward these flight simulators, and then we break them up into 2 groups, and we try to get 8 to 12 is kind of the number we're looking at.
Okay.
Because if you get more than that, we can't. When we break them up, they can't function on the flight simulator.
Gotcha. Anything bigger, that's the sweet spot for.
8 is about ideal because then you get 2 on each simulator.
8 is enough.
Huh?
Sorry, I was doing an old TV show reference. Is 8 enough?
8 enough? No. Hopefully we get like 2 groups of 8 coming in. But anyway, they come in for a couple hours and we break them up, and so that for about an hour or a little less, the 4 of them get to fly on 2 simulators and take turns in doing 2 or 3 different scenarios on this flight simulator, while the other 4 get their shot of 11 videos from YouTube on all the way from how to determine what you may want to do for a living for the rest of your life, a Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's really good. It's got pretty good ratings from the kids. And then we show them 10 STEM videos of various careers. Like,
Gotcha.
A day in the life of a wind turbine technician or engineer, being an registered nurse, being a physician assistant. And then you have things on oil fields, energy. And then we have a couple of videos, one from Crumlin Auto that ties in with Eastern New Mexico University on the automobile mechanic.
Gotcha.
And then we have one from Eastern on the aircraft maintenance program.
Very good. So for folks on those, and then and then like you said, the oil field, like they got don't they? And then one of them like a roughneck video of showing
yeah. That's kind of entertaining anyone that say, okay, you think your job's tough? Look at this. These guys are throwing these chains around these pipes, and they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool for the opportunity. And then of course, adults, whole family's going to get a kick out of the, just seeing some.
And we put the kids to work. We have up to 6 clipboards if we had 12 show up, and when they're seeing these videos, they rate it 1 through 5. 1 being that was totally useless.
Gotcha.
So. But at the same time, on the page, they mark their male or female and their age. So we when I get through with this, we look at it and said, okay, guys, if we wanted to change and maybe modify it in the future, if we're having a group coming in of a certain age or sex, guys or girls or whatever, we can say, let's take this and move this over and we'll put this video in instead.
Sure.
So they're getting the best. So they kind of get a chance to rate it. And then also rate the flight simulator experience.
Absolutely. And then obviously it gives a clear indicator for you guys on what videos. So if there's certain videos that just across the board aren't registering with the group, then you can say, well, maybe we pull that from the file and look for something to fill its place that would be more appropriate.
Right.
So, yeah. It's a great opportunity for them. But really, this is something, and these are strides that you guys have made in the last year here. I know in the last couple of years, the museum has taken a turn to really support the STEM-related and the education side of things. So that's really been the mantle that you guys have been carrying for the last couple of years here. So really the stuff we're talking about, these screens, these programs, this is all new stuff within, the last year and a half?
Yeah, we just got a computer and a big kind of a curved screen, and kids sit down, they have chairs. And that's what some of the people, when we're open during the day, we're running videos from YouTube. Like there's close to an hour video on the B-36, history of the B-36, history of B-29, and a bunch of other pretty cool aircraft and historical type things. And they come in and look around, and they end up sitting in the chair watching some of this rather than sitting outside in the terminal. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think for folks that are just military buffs or love history and you're coming through, and then you really get to see the role that this community served during World War II and the Cold War era, and it's pretty impressive. It's just, for folks that don't know, odds are pretty good that if you were in a bomber crew during World War II, you probably spent some time in Roswell, New Mexico as part of your training.
Right.
And, that's just
pilots that already got their pilot training, but they came here to get multi-engine training and then bombardier training.
Yeah,
so there's around 17,000 trained here.
Yeah, it's pretty. It was a very important role that this community served during the war, and that's pretty cool history as part of this, and so you get to exposed to that, and then of course because we live in the desert, it was ripe area to put some Atlas missiles too when the time came, and so we, during that Cold War era, up until they started upgrading and putting bigger munitions, and then at some point scaling back the number of nukes that we were carrying.
Right.
There was a period there where we were glowworms. We had
They had 12 silos, and they were scattered around. A lot of people didn't realize that. Is that just around the base? No, it was around Roswell, in like 12, maybe 14 miles in all directions, north, east, west, south,
Yeah.
So, and these Atlas F missiles, like they were saying, that the weapon on top of the missile, the warhead, was about 100 times, 150 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb.
Wow.
So it's kind of scary. I think that's when my dad built the bomb shelter in our garage up on West 8th Street.
Well, and that's...
No, it's just kind of a case like you got the base as a target. Now you got all these missiles around Roswell.
Sure.
Who's in the middle? Roswell.
Yeah, you're like, man, what's that hum? No.
Yeah.
But, you mentioned that stat there about the warhead, and I hope it gets people thinking. When we talk about when we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was the infancy of the atoms, the nuclear age here, and that's in that span of time. When we bombed the end the war, the Pacific theater of World War II. From that time, we dropped those bombs, like you said, that took out a city with one of those bombs, and that was, I think, we basically had those were the two bombs we had. We may have had one other, but that was it. To just 10, 15 years later, now looking at one of those warheads could, in essence, wipe out an entire country. And it's basically, you know what I mean? Just the power and in the same size and the technology going from the understanding how nuclear energy and how the atom bomb worked to looking at these intercontinental ballistic missiles in that really 10, 15 years time. That's quite a bit of advancement there in that bit of time frame there, and even during that age when they go from the Atlas to Minuteman to the various missile designs, there's huge engineering and STEM differences in the technologies there.
And they were kind of struggling when they were building this because they were using the Atlas and as a liquid fuel, and while they were here, started building them in '61 was the same year I graduated high school, so it shows my age here in Roswell. But they were up and running during the Cuban Missile Crisis in '62, October, and then they were dismantled, and basically they went. Our government went to the Minuteman missile and solid fuel, reckon some Titan missiles, but they were shut down in 1965. So they started building them in '61 and shut down in '65. But so there's still those silos scattered around Roswell. I think one of them they're using as you can spend the night there.
Yeah, like a B&B
I saw that in the
something,
paper, yeah. But then there's some other ones like north of town that I was in the astronomy club. They go out there and use all that flat concrete on the silo doors and stuff where they set up their telescopes and stuff. But you're pretty far out away from Roswell and you don't pick up city lights or anything.
Yeah, you get nice and dark out there.
Yeah, so it's like 13, 12 miles out, and then you drive off the road for about another mile or two and get to the silo.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to give you a quick backup on this, what we've done so far with the kids, in the past, we've recently had 12 students from Berrindo Middle School, and we've had 24 students in two groups of 12 from Sierra Middle School. We've had a home group of 12 homeschoolers, and then a bunch of other folks. So we've had about 58 youth and maybe 15 adults out there so far.
Okay.
Just, working with the simulator, but that's way below the number we want. And
Sure.
It's just, everybody's kind of tied up with this COVID thing.
You'd love to have a group coming through every day through there.
Well, that's the other problem. We like that, but
you got to have the people to
accommodate
that. Yeah,
accommodate that. But
in a perfect world, you'd love to have all that. That's what you'd love to have.
But we'd love to have at least a group coming out once a week.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're just still there, and we'll be there, and we're not going away. And we're looking forward to we're already coordinating with New Mexico Youth Challenge when they get out there.
Okay.
Trying to get maybe 3 or 4 of their instructors to come out, and we'll put them through what we're going to put the kids through. And then when the next class gets here, we can maybe bring out some groups of 8 And they're really just within walking distance, of course. New Mexico Youth Challenge.
Sure, yeah, they're right there.
And then Sierra Gutierrez School there.
Yeah.
And
charter school, yeah, that's all right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also been working with Roswell Independent School District, and we've been working with church groups. Like you got little buses. Mm-hmm. Don't you get some students in the age of 13 to 18? And that's the reason for that is the simulators are fairly complex. It's not a game. It's not like a video toy.
Sure.
But at the same time, we're showing a bunch of career stuff. And if you get much younger than that, first of all, they kind of don't take the flight simulator very serious.
Right.
But then they don't also get much out of the career stuff because they're so far down the
information's
chain.
A little bit beyond that
once
grasp.
You get up to be getting ready to get into high school, you kind of know what you may. I may need to focus on this or that. So
yeah. To them, it's all fun and pew pew and all that, which is great. But you know, it kind of doesn't defeat the STEM side. So
yeah. So.
But as Robert's saying, like you had church groups. So if you've got youth groups, scout troops, or like I said, church groups, things like that.
I'm meeting with the lady. Now, don't have her name. Anyway, I'm meeting with the Girl Scout leader.
Oh, cool. Okay.
For the region, she's coming in either this coming Thursday or next week.
Okay.
So we're coordinating with them already.
And if you're interested in seeing what the Walker Aviation Museum can do is to help enhance your youth programs, please reach out. This is what they do, and folks, if you'd love to be more involved with this, if you're like, man, I love simulators and stuff, I'd love to get some more time there and do all that. And here's the cool part that the museum's really doing with their simulators and things. They're kind of doing it sort of like a library card system where if you have a real interest in learning this stuff and you're a young man or young woman that was going out, you come out, you get sit there and get your simulator time. They give you a little card, and it's kind of like your license
It says I'm an EduStation pilot.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is when we're open, they bring that and wave that card, and they can go straight VFR direct, no stopping.
Yeah. So
straight to the simulators and you play on them, or not play on them, or operate
practice
them.
and start. If you pursue if you're pursuing a pilot's license, and I get it. You're a young person trying to do that. Most of us don't have access to an airplane or a multi-$1,000 simulator to go do these things.
And by the way, I should say that these are I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but they're expensive simulators.
Yeah.
And the reason we have them is because of a grant from XL Energy. So
very cool.
Thank you, XL Energy, for that.
Yeah, they. We say this all the time. I don't know how many times we see entities like XL, when we have community events like Christmas lights downtown, there's XL Energy right there helping out. So it's great to see them in another facet promoting and helping in our community there. So that's flight simulators. Go price one. You could probably find a junky one on eBay for a couple grand, but to get one that's you're paying a lot of money.
Some of these ones now that you can get software, they're actually pretty good. We have one, ours is a yoke, but it'll fly 50 different aircraft. And like you get a pilot coming in and looking at it and says, oh, yeah, this is the basic one. But if you want to, you could select an F-22 Raptor and select Istanbul, Turkey, and land at 9 o'clock at night.
There you go.
They go, oh, okay. And when you do that, you get the cockpit display like an F-22 or with a 777 or 637 or whatever.
I'm being very curious, just from my time in the military, when I was in Italy, and we were...
they don't have stealth fighter ones in there.
No F-117s.
I don't know.
But they would... so I spent a lot of time near the runway there because that's kind of where our tents were. So I watched aircraft coming in and taking off all the time. And so I got to watch the various aircraft come in, and each kind of have their own landing style. You know what I mean? And the most hot doggy of the group, I'm going to say, were the F-15 pilots. Those guys, when they would come in, they would land, but they would not land. They would use their whole plane as a speed brake. So they would basically come landing in, and they would just land on their bottom two wheels, their back two wheels, and they would ride that wheelie for 1,000 feet, I don't know, but for a long time, in essence, using the entire plane to slow it down. And then when it got slow enough, just boom, and then it dropped that front end and then just go on. 15. So I saw a few 16s do it, but mostly that was an F-15 move. And I was just wondering, if you get in a say, an F-15 in there, do you get a chance to kind of ride it and boom like they do?
I guess you could, yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
you know, it was kind of, and I would also throw this out there. F-15 pilots were more hot doggy taking off too, because F-15s are one of the few planes that can almost do a vertical takeoff.
Right.
And they like to prove that they could do that, because they would sit there and literally hit the runway, take off, and then once they catch air, boom, go almost straight up. They go hit full burner and just, and they'd have to hit a tanker right after that. But they would do that quite often. And
I didn't, as we've talked about before, I'm not a pilot, but I was training pilots for many years in the Air Force. And luckily, I got to ride in the back seat of F-15s and do some air-to-air combat out of Okinawa.
Okay.
And I know what you mean, because I was in the back seat.
Oh, I'm sure.
Trying not to get the motion sickness as they were.
I think that's a
doing negative G's, positive G's, and then flying at night.
I think it's a bit of a game for the pilots when they give incentive rides to some of the
non-flyers. Especially the guy that's supposed to be their instructor.
Oh yeah, because you were making them spin and puke in training. Oh, that was payback for you. For
That's
those
right.
guys.
I said, we'll get you now.
That's pretty good.
By the way, just before we, WAFBmuseum.org is where we're on the website. And Amazon Smile will help us if you're shopping at Amazon. If you go to that, we'll get a few pennies out of your stuff that you're buying. So.
If you're having trouble understanding that, if you go to the Walker Aviation Museum website, which again is Robert said, wafbmuseum.org, you'll find a link there. If you click that, that'll take you right to the Amazon Smile link. Once you do that, bookmark it, and then every time you go through Amazon, click that bookmark. And then every time you spend money at Amazon, a few pennies go right directly to the museum each month. So it's just a little bit, doesn't cost you any extra. You pay the same price for what you bought. Amazon just donates a few pennies off your purchase. And the idea is you give up a couple pennies, you get enough people, and next thing you know, they get a nice chunk of a change, a nice fat check each month. Goes towards programs and things at the museum there. So that's a great way to help out doing minimal effort on your part for something you probably do anyway already.
Yeah, just in quickly review, we already mentioned this before, but I had the scenario what the kids come in and we talked about what they did. And then when they sit down, while half of them are flying the flight simulators, it's a 172 and they do a taxi and then they do a takeoff and they get to fly through these green squares and then finally a yellow circle, and then just one where they're just flying and making turns and stuff. But the other group are watching the following videos. They're watching Science, Technology, Math, and Overview, Careers in Aviation, in an Eastern New Mexico Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. The next one is A Day in the Life of a Wind Turbine Engineer. And then the next one is Kremlin Auto Group and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Auto Mechanic Program.
Okay.
Then Energy Careers, Energy Career Cluster and Industry Video Series, that's one. Oil Well Workers Career Video, and then What Does a Registered Nurse Do? Architectural Engineering versus Architecture, what's the difference? And right now we're showing, so what do you want? So you want to be a physician assistant. So, but, we can change those around. There's several that we can substitute in and out. Steve Griffin, retired Navy guy. He was a weatherman the whole time he was in. He just got through installing a bunch of nice professional weather equipment on the wall.
Okay.
So we're going to get that signage up so it kind of explains more what all this equipment is, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff there. And
now the computers tell them all that stuff. It's like, no, but back in the day you had to have equipment to make these things, and here it is.
So we have enough time to talk about a little quick history blip, about a 2-minute thing here?
Yeah, we sure do.
Okay, so today, in the past, we've talked about the Atlas missile, KC-135, B-52, B-47, B-36, and the atomic bomb drop at Nagasaki. We talked about that, I think, last month.
Last month.
Yeah. Anyway, for this week, let's talk about, for this month, let's talk for historically, Walker Air Force Bases supported the nuclear bomb testing in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific in 1946.
Okay.
Right after the war was over.
All right.
At the end of World War II, there was a push to conduct a test of the survivability of warships from nuclear attack. And as a result, in 1946, Operation Crossroads was set into action, and the location was at the Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific and conducted by a joint Army, Navy and Task Force 1, headed by Vice Admiral William Blandy. Support of this operation consisted of 150 ships to house workshops, quarters, and experimental stations for 42,000 men and 37 female nurses. I guess they needed, I don't know why they emphasized the female nurse, but anyway, I think at that time, there's not too many females in the military, but there were.
Sure. And then when they were in the role, serving
a lot of times in nursing.
Medical,
Not today though. They're flying fighters, F-35s, whatever.
And then on the other side, I imagine nursing. It's kind of male nurses were
female.
something
that
wasn't really a thing. So
Manhattan project scientists argued that further testing was unnecessary and environmentally dangerous. Besides ship survivability, the radiation injury to the sailors was a concern. Therefore, hundreds of pigs, goats, and rats were placed on target ships for study by the National Cancer Institute. And this action, as you might imagine, was opposed by animal rights groups.
Yeah, I'm sure they did not find that out.
The Navy was afraid that without a test to show the survivability of warships, that they might lose a lot of funding for future naval forces. Kind of like, oh my gosh, is this atomic bomb mean that the Navy's no longer relevant?
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So members of Congress, press corps, and others were allowed to witness the event. On February 10th, 1946, 167 Bikini Islanders and their belongings were moved 128 miles east to the uninhabited Ronderich Atoll to begin a permanent exile. So we kind of kicked those people out of their own homes. That's not very... Anyway, look back on that.
Here's the thing,
I'm glad they didn't decide to test it in Roswell, New Mexico, and just moved everybody out of Roswell to somewhere.
Why didn't they just do the test at the abandoned island when there was nobody at to begin with?
I don't know. I have to check that out.
I'm not a wizard or nothing. But what was the logic there? Hey, we got this island full of people, and then this empty one over here. Let's move the island full of people over to the empty island. That doesn't make sense.
No, I think it was an atoll where they could get all the ships in there. Anyway,
maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some logistics I'm missing there.
Three tests were scheduled. The Alpha was an airdrop to explode 530 feet above the surface of the water, delivered by a B-29 from Roswell Army Airfield. The Beta test was a 90-foot underwater test, and the Charlie test was a deep water test. Say for the Alpha test, the 23 kiloton, 23,000, tons of atomic, of TNT equivalent. Right. 23 kiloton plutonium atomic bomb, similar to the Nagasaki bomb, was dropped by the B-29 named Dave's Dream from the Roswell 509th Bombardment Group. Okay. And the airdrop did not go well. The bomb exploded 2,130 feet from the aim point, and it was, as a result, only 5 target ships out of the 95 sitting in the lagoon were sunk. That's a good thing for the Navy, I guess. But anyway,
they missed with a nuke.
After a lengthy investigation, Colonel Paul Tibbets believed that the miss was caused by a miscalculation by the crew. And the Baker underwater test resulted in cancellation of the Charlie deep water test due to significant sea spray radiation contamination of the target ships. So it was so bad that, the one that was just that 50 feet under, that they decided, we won't do that. Oh, I guess it was 90 feet underwater.
Okay.
It was a beta test, but then they decided, we're not going to do the deep water test.
So it sounds like it was a series
So
of...
it was didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
But, when you drop the atomic bomb, you can't drop it at low level. You have to drop it at high altitude.
Sure.
Because
you're going to get caught up in the mushroom cloud.
So that's why with the winds and stuff, it was always hard to get really close. Even Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they didn't really drop exactly where they wanted to. But it was powerful enough that it did the damage anyway.
That was it. You get close is good enough with a nuke usually. But I would imagine in the ocean environment, that changes parameters a little bit too. Right. Water is a little bit different, denser than air. So how does that nuclear radiation travel and stuff like that?
Before we leave, I need to not forget to thank the people that have supported us monetarily in the past, and that was Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Corporation, Dr. Phil Cathy, Dr. Paula Engstrom, and Lloyd Hughes, Glenn's Furniture, and Airsil. So anyway, those folks have really helped out in the past, and we've had a lot of people like Bob Donnell's wife, Peggy Donnell. She's a pilot, matter of fact. She's flown solo.
Yeah.
But she has come out and helped out with the kids on the flight simulator. So even though she's not a member of the board, she was kind of our, I don't know, what we call her. She's our
or your inspiration.
Mascot. She's our mascot. She's our
your muse.
Official mascot to come out and help us out. We really appreciate it.
Very good. Again, if anybody has any questions, wafbmuseum.org. Or if come on out during the flight schedule, walk out there and take a gander around. Usually about 2 hours before flight, you might see it open there and come on in for a visit.
Yeah, Monday through Friday, we should be there right around 11:15, and we kind of close up around 1:30 when the plane's supposed to take off.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit as always, and stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Okay. All right. Take care. We'll see you, Robert.
Lee County has been awarded $750,000 in community development block grant funding. The money coming from an overall $10.5 million kitty being doled out around the state. The funding will be used for water, wastewater, streets and drainage, and public facilities projects. An additional $1.6 million will be used for economic development and planning projects. And due to the anticipated freezing temperatures, the former Joe Stanley Smith Elementary School at 505 Alta Vista is being opened starting tonight as a temporary shelter. This is through a partnership between the city and Carlsbad Municipal Schools. The shelter will remain open until the need subsides. The Community of Hope Center at 1314 South Canal Street is also offering shelter for those who need it. You can call the Community of Hope Center at 575-200-1377. First responders have been instructed to assist individuals who require help with getting to a shelter. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a winter storm warning in effect with some heavy snow expected. It'll be mostly cloudy today. Our afternoon high in the low 30s. Snow showers will be likely. 2 to 4 inches of accumulating snow overnight, and we'll drop into the mid-teens with gusty wind. And then snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow. Cloudy and cold with our high only around 25. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It was a good night on the road for the Goddard Rockets. Last night, it was game number 2 in the district schedule. Goddard, remember, started off against Portales Friday night. Last night, it was hitting the roads to Wildcat territory in the first game of the girls-boys doubleheader. Goddard knocked off Lovington 69-41. Goddard now 11-8 on the season, 1-1 in district play. And then came the boys' game, and Lovington's pretty tough, but Goddard won that game 66-61. It was a 2-point margin with just a minute left, but Goddard put it away in that last minute and are now 13-9 on the season. The Rockets 2-0 in district play. Goddard will take on Artesia this Friday on the road. The boys from Artesia likewise are 2-0 after beating Portales. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. America's private sector employers cut 301,000 jobs last month, that according to payroll processor ADP, the steepest decline since the start of the coronavirus pandemic in April of 2020. The government's January employment report is set for release on Friday. Inflation fueled by high oil and gas prices has hit record levels in Europe for the third month in a row. It extends pain for consumers and also sharpens questions about future moves by the European Central Bank. Another OPEC meeting is underway now, the cartel and its allies deciding exactly how much crude they will pump. The price of oil hovers near a 7-year high. On Wall Street at mid-morning, the key averages were mixed. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
It's scary how often we hear those police sirens lately.
Oh, this is the new normal under Mayor Dennis Kintai.
I just don't feel safe these days around Roswell, and I'm worried about our kids.
I know. It's very concerning. Murders are up 140%, and robberies are up 142% in the last 4 years under Kintai.
What?
Yeah, and assaults are up 263%.
That's unbelievable. And I heard the other day that Roswell pays their officers a starting salary $10,000 less than Hobbs and Carlsbad. No wonder we're having trouble hiring.
We need to fire Mayor Kentai and elect Tim Jennings as mayor.
Yeah, Jennings has a plan to hire 10 more officers, and he'll make sure Roswell pays competitively to recruit and retain our police force.
I know Jennings is going to build a substation in the high crime area. That'll help.
Tim Jennings, he's got my vote.
Mine too, because I know he'll keep Roswell safe.
Paid for by Tim Jennings.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Qualified first-time freshmen who have graduated from a New Mexico high school and have an annual family income of $50,000 or less will have base tuition and fees for full-time enrollment covered for the 22 to 23 academic year. Application deadline is March 1st. The Lobo First Year Promise at the University of New Mexico. Find out more at promise.unm.edu.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And that's going to do it for us. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll have all the latest for weather tomorrow morning for you right here on the morning show, which will get underway bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay warm, stay dry, and we'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.